WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. Your home for the Sportsvisions morning show. Sportsvisions 92.1. You're listening to the Sportsvisions morning show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sportsvisions morning show. I am Richard Holdridge, filling in for DJ as he is out of town. Thrift Barringer will be joining me shortly as we have got a lot to unpack. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that's been watching us on Facebook Live and on YouTube, but we also appreciate our radio audience out there and WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 92.1 FM. We thank you for your support. Hey, we got a great show. Did you stay up to watch that crazy, incredible NBA Finals game? I was absolutely blown away. I think that might be one of the most exciting games I've ever watched. Just complete jubilation. The New York Knicks ended up beating the San Antonio Spurs. If you went to bed last night, it happened. The Knicks came back from 29 down, the largest comeback in NBA Finals history. We will unpack that game. We will talk both sides. Did the Spurs collapse? Did the Knicks win it? They take a 3-1 series lead. They're one game away from winning their first NBA title since 1973. Hey, today is the first day of the World Cup. We have got a World Cup match later this afternoon down in Mexico, 3 o'clock. Mexico taking on South Africa. And we also have the Columbus Lions on the road taking on the Wheeling Miners. This is going to be a huge game for the battle of first place and home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the AAL. Wow, it's going to be a great show. We're going to get into all of it. The Braves, they dropped to the White Sox once again. We're going to talk about the Clean Stones taking on the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Pacelli's got a new baseball coach. We were there for the press conference. I'll talk about that as well. We got a great guest lineup for you today. On the show in the first hour is going to be Georgia Alabama Sports Live's own Tyler Dykes, who is starting to become a soccer expert. I have called a couple of soccer matches with him, and I've gotten to know this guy and I realized this guy eats, breathes, and lives soccer. He's probably up right now watching the Premier League. I'm just kidding. They're not playing right now because the World Cup's going on. But the type of guy that would probably stay up at 3 a.m. watching the Premier League, Liga MX, Bundesliga. I mean, this guy has so much soccer knowledge. So I figured what better way than to bring on a guy that loves soccer to talk World Cup. We're going to break down the World Cup, because the United States plays Paraguay tomorrow. And who could win this thing? This World Cup now has 48 teams. There's no more group of death. There's no more, if you lose that first match in group play, you might be in danger of missing out on the round of 16. Because now we have third-place teams that are going to make it to the round of 32. And how much pressure is on the United States to get out of the group? I'll talk about that group and how tough it actually is. We got other things going on, Stanley Cup Finals going on, U.S. Open. If you're a golf fan, I know I am, and I'm excited. We're getting closer and closer to Father's Day. So happy Father's Day, early Father's Day to all those fathers out there. And the front row checking in. Thanks, guys. Bobby Brown, good morning. Ricky Rogers, happy Tuesday. Get it, Big Rich. I appreciate that, Ricky. And Rodney Lawrence, we thank everybody that's checking in the front row. And yes, I am here by myself as DJ Jones is down in Tampa. We are going to have a best of show tomorrow. Thrift Barringer will be joining me shortly, but back to the guest list. So we also, like we do every Tuesdays and Thursdays, WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson will be here at 7:15. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we have got Mike Woods from Girls Inc. as they're going to have a league that's happening right now. The next Name Up Summer League Showcase at Double Churches Middle School is going to take place at 10 o'clock today. We got a fantastic lineup of teams. Mike Woods will come on the show, talk about that. We saw him at Pacelli yesterday for the Porter Sports Summer League as girls basketball playing in that summer league over there. And Mike Woods going to be on the show just talking everything basketball. We might even throw in an NBA Finals question. Was that the craziest game you ever saw? Yeah, of course. And then finally, we have WTVM sports anchor Mackenzie Collins. She's been on before, very knowledgeable, somebody who is passionate about sports. Saw her at the Pacelli press conference for that new Pacelli baseball coach, and always great chopping it up with her. And she's also helped call some games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Somebody that is passionate about sports, just loves talking about sports. So glad to see Mackenzie Collins here on the show. And that's going to be at 8:30. A great guest lineup here on the Sports Visions morning show. Let's talk about that game last night. Was that the craziest game you ever saw? I know it was for me. I want to break down this game because I think that you blow a 29-point lead in the NBA Finals, the first idea that people think in their mind, because, we are trying to get a hot sports take out. I'm a sports talk show host. I want to give you a hot sports take. I feel that trying to make an impression that the Spurs choked. That's like the first thing that came to my mind. A little bit of both. The Spurs giving up a 29-point lead. There were some mistakes in that game that they shot themselves in the foot. Wemby missing those 2 free throws. How about De'Aaron Fox not running out the clock, trying to go for a layup? Spurs are up by 1. The ball gets pushed into the backcourt. De'Aaron Fox races to it, misses a layup. The backcourt violation that wasn't called, it was questionable. It could have been a backcourt violation, maybe not. But the tip in by OG Anunoby for the New York Knicks will go down in the history of Knicks basketball as the greatest play of all time. The Knicks end up beating the Spurs 107-106 to take a 3-1 series lead. And guess what? They are 1 win away from winning their first NBA title since 1973. I've said on my podcast, if the Knicks win this NBA title, it will be the biggest sports story since the Chicago Cubs winning the World Series since 2016. Just the magnitude of the New York Knicks winning an NBA title because of all the fans that are Knicks fans out there. This is going to be huge. That parade in New York would be huge. Remember, they got a World Cup match on Sunday in MetLife Stadium. So that whole place is just wild right now. And the security, I can't imagine what the security is looking like right there. But yeah, it's going to be a great moment for the New York Knicks. Hey, Stanley Crowell checking in. Good morning. Welcome to Thursday. Glad you made it. It's showtime. Thank you for the education, motivation, inspiration, and entertainment. We appreciate you, Stanley, and we appreciate everybody that's chiming in on Facebook and on YouTube. So the NBA Finals, it was the jubilation, the pandemonium at Madison Square Garden. There are still people that have not gone to bed yet. They didn't want to leave the arena. They were just in complete shock to see exactly what happened. You got to give credit to the Knicks for battling back, finding themselves down by 29, but it was Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby. It was some heroes on this team that could one day end up getting statues. This Knicks team is beloved. I think if they win a title, guys like Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby are going to get their numbers retired. They might even create a statue of OG Anunoby's tip in the basket. This was one of the most incredible plays I have ever seen. Just to fast forward to last night, Jalen Brunson attempting a long three. Did it kind of have a feel like Derek Whittenburg, Lorenzo Charles, 1983 Final Four? I was thinking that too. But OG Anunoby, who wasn't boxed out, he comes out into the lane and tips it in. and the Knicks take the 1-point lead with 1.2 seconds left. Still not over yet. The Spurs inbounds the ball in the middle of the court, and they could not get a shot off. And just the Knicks, the jubilation, the excitement. I'm speechless. I'm at a loss for words. This was one of the most incredible sports moments that we have ever had. And we are going to talk about it. We got all show to talk about this incredible Game 4 in the NBA Finals. Hey, College World Series, like with everything that, got the World Cup going on. We got the NBA Finals. Can't forget about the College World Series. It starts tomorrow, 2:00, Troy taking on West Virginia, and then Ole Miss taking on North Carolina. On Saturday, we got Oklahoma and Alabama, and we got Texas and Georgia. Speaking of Alabama baseball, the St. Anne Pacelli Vikings have a new baseball coach. We got to meet him yesterday. Kobe Vance, he played college baseball at the University of Alabama. He was a minor league player that was drafted by the Oakland Athletics, and he even played for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. One of the questions I asked him, you played for Pensacola, I didn't know if he knew that the Cleanstones were playing the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, and if he was going to actually talk to him after the game, after the press conference, checking out a game maybe. But he's 29 years old. He's got minor league experience, playing in AA. He's got up to AAA. He's played for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp back in 2023. I think it's important that these young baseball players see that their coach is freshly removed out of the minor leagues. I think that he leads by example. He's going to be just a great fit at Pacelli. Glad that I got to know him. Kobe Vance, the new Pacelli baseball coach, and it's going to be a lot fun there at Diamond Field. And he's got a young team. The baseball team was there to greet him, and it was just a great time at the Beck Center yesterday for the Pacelli baseball press conference. Why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and take a break. And we come back. The Columbus Cleanstones were in action yesterday, and they'll be back at it again against the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. We got special promotional deals coming up. It is soccer night. Columbus Cleanstones. We'll talk about it next. You don't want to go anywhere. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ and Thrift, and we'll be right back after this.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. A judge has denied Ibrahim Yazid's request for a new trial. His attorneys filed a motion earlier this month claiming there was not enough evidence to convict him of the murder of Anaya Blanchard. Yazid was convicted on 2 murder counts and sentenced to life in prison for her 2019 death. In Columbus, Paws Humane Society says space-related euthanasia is no longer on the table. Director Courtney Pierce says the shelter is still full, but no longer at critical capacity. Since last week, community members have stepped up to adopt and foster pets. Lastly, the Columbus Police Department has released a second report on the weekend activity in downtown Columbus. On June 5th and 6th, police report they responded to 13 dispatch calls for service, issued 13 citations, and made contact with 75 minors. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings.
Good Thursday morning. We are off on a warm note with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and we're seeing just mostly clear skies across the area this morning. But it's going to be another quick warm up as we go throughout the day. Afternoon temperatures are going to be climbing into the low 90s, and yes, heat index values are going to be climbing into the upper 90s. This is going to be quite hot this afternoon. Tonight, clear, humid, and warm. Lows falling in the mid 70s. Warm weather continues through Saturday with mid 90s. Better rain chances next week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Operation Homefront, it opened up so many possibilities. It took us from a hopeless situation. Now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. It's completely changed the way our life is. Our household is so much happier.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
Every day, 12 children die from sepsis, more than from cancer. Most people don't know the word sepsis or the symptoms. Protect yourself and your loved ones. To learn more about the symptoms, go to sepsis.org.
Working safely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you take medication? At VA, prescriptions have a range of copay levels, from free to $5, $8, or $11 for a 30-day prescription, depending on your eligibility. Refill by mail, in person, or on VA's mobile app. Sign up at va.gov or call 1-800-MyVA411.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your Y. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
It's the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones. Thrift Barringer should be joining me shortly. Hey, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we got Tyler Dykes, soccer expert from Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're going to talk all things World Cup. It is day one of the World Cup. We got Mexico, South Africa later this afternoon at 3. And then we also have South Korea taking on the Czech Republic. The United States takes on Paraguay tomorrow. And I got a feeling about this group. I think that the United States can win the group. Turkey is ranked pretty high in the FIFA rankings. Paraguay is right down in the 40s. Australia ranked 20, 30-ish. I think they're ranked in the 30s. This is a pretty strong group. There's really a team, if you're not too careful, they could end up getting a draw like they did against Wales in 2022. If you are better than the other team, you should be able to win and win convincingly. I want to see where the goal scoring is coming from. But we got plenty of time to talk about that with Tyler Dykes because I do have some fan favorites, and we're going to get a pick of who's going to win the World Cup. We're going to put Tyler on the spot. Yeah, you don't want to go anywhere for that interview. Jack Patterson, JP, return of the Jack. He's going to be here at 7:15. Saw him at the Pacelli press conference for the new baseball coach. And I know that he is out and about. They were able to cover that match up in Auburn, Argentina, Iceland. Still a great atmosphere. 88,000 fans, the largest soccer attendance in the state of Alabama. It broke records that were held since the 1996 Olympics when soccer was held in Birmingham. And then we also have in the 8 o'clock hour, Mike Woods from Girls Inc. He is going to get on the show and talk about some camps that's coming up. Next Name Up Summer League Showcase will be at Double Churches Middle School later this morning. 10 o'clock will be the first game. Opelika Northside, we got a varsity girls game. We got some middle school girls games, and we've got some JV games. JV middle. No, it is going to be a great time. Looking forward for Mike Woods to come on the show at 8, talking about no approval. Next Name Up. And then at 8:30, we got WTVM sports anchor Mackenzie Collins. I'm going to talk about everything that's going on locally here in sports. We got Columbus United FC that's got the weekend off. They're actually going to be back in action against Birmingham Legion 2 FC next Wednesday, and then Dothan United. So they got 2 home matches next week. And they got the weekend off. They're going to just take advantage, probably going to have some World Cup watch parties at Highside Market in their Pro L soccer shop. And so we'll talk about that. Mackenzie Collins covers Columbus United, and she's definitely invested in that team. She's had some good feature stories on that, and looking forward to chopping it up with Mackenzie Collins. But don't forget, at the bottom of the hour, Tyler Dykes will be joining the show. All right, let's talk about the College World Series. I don't want this to get lost in the shuffle, especially with the World Cup going on. I'm a big baseball fan. I love baseball at all levels. I'll go watch a Little League game. I live 10 minutes away from Northern Little League. I actually would go to the ballpark, see that monument where the 2006 Northern Little League team won the Little League World Series, and just take it all in and watch a Little League game. I like watching college baseball games. I went to Georgia Tech years ago when they played Florida State. It was a packed house. College baseball is going to get bigger. With NIL now being implemented into all NCAA sports, why not baseball? You get a top prospect that was expected to get drafted by a major league team. He has a choice. He could go to the minor leagues for 3 or 4 years, or get an NIL deal and play college baseball. So I think that the college baseball product is going to get better. We have got 8 teams. 2 teams have never been to the College World Series. They face off tomorrow, Troy and West Virginia. I tell you, this is a great story. The Troy Trojans can be the first mid-major to win a College World Series since Coastal Carolina in 2016. Ole Miss has been there before. They are taking on North Carolina. North Carolina's had multiple College World Series appearances. Oklahoma, Alabama, that's tomorrow. And then Texas, Georgia. I still am a firm believer that they need to reseed the College World Series. Once you get to the final 8, I know how they do it. They put 1 through 8, 2 through 7, 3, 6, 4, and 5. But we've had so many upsets with UCLA losing, Georgia Tech losing, Auburn losing. They got to reseed this thing. So, I'm going to talk about that and try to dissect that. But I do think that Georgia is the favorite. I think that with a double elimination, I think that they could find their way back to the championship if they do get upset by Texas. Texas is a very strong team. The fact that we've got a tough matchup in the first game of the College World Series, the 3-6 matchup, that's going to be tough for Georgia. Troy, West Virginia is a little bit easier matchup. So whoever wins that will have a little bit easier path. But remember, the championship is a best of 3. Georgia has not been to the College World Series since 2008, and they are trying to win their first College World Series since 1990. But they're facing a tough Texas team that's got 6 of these things, and they know how to win the College World Series because of their experience on the diamond. Hey, the Braves, they dropped 2 games to the Chicago White Sox. They over the past couple of days, 2-1 pitchers duel. White Sox able to outduel the Braves. Hey, the Braves are still in first place. They're 45-23. Not time to panic. Davis Martin pitched great. You got to tip your cap to the White Sox pitcher. But the good news, the Braves are going to get some help in the pitching rotation. Hurston Waltrip is going to make his appearance. A rehab start for the Columbus Cleanstones tonight, taking on the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Cleanstones split the two games, the doubleheader, because the rain out on Tuesday, had a doubleheader yesterday. They split with the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and take a break? And when we come back on the other side of the break, we have got Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Tyler Dykes and soccer expert. We're going to talk all things World Cup. You don't want to go anywhere. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ and Thrift. We'll be right back after this.
Always shake my window. Sweet seducing sight.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Attorney advertised. Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid after dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
What are you gonna do when that dog chase you? That's what everybody wanna know. That's what they asking. They even chant his name. Go top dog. Go top dog. Go top dog. Go top dog. Get him top dog. Chase him top dog. Bite him top dog. Bite him top dog. When you call top dog, what you want him to do? You want him to go bite somebody. You mad. You angry. You in pain. Sick him top dog. Get him top dog. Bite him top dog. Get him top dog. Bite him top dog. What are you gonna do when that dog chase you? If you get into an accident, make the call. Call the dog. Top dog law.
I have a friend, about 50, had a bad accident and couldn't go back to work. If you're between the ages of 49 and 63 and can't go back to your job because of a physical or mental disability, Social Security could pay you as much as $3,800 a month. If you or a family member is unable to work because of a disability, call the Social Security Disability Helpline. Our team will give you a free case review and explain to you how much money you're entitled to, and you won't pay anything unless we get you benefits. See if you or a family member is entitled to close to $45,000 a year in Social Security disability funds. Remember, this is not something for people over the age of 65. If you're under 65 and can't work, call now.
800-413-7642. 800-413-7642. That's 800-413-7642.
Ashley Marine offers from the portable 2.5 Mercury outboard engines all the way up to the adrenaline-pumping 300 horsepower Mercury powerhouses. The entire four-stroke Mercury outboard family features efficient, lightweight designs that ensure no power goes wasted. It's worry-free boating that's easy to own and fun to drive from Ashley Marine. 2 locations, Box Road in Columbus or Lee Road 379 in Salem, Alabama. Only 1 mile from the Long Bridge. More boats, lower prices, ashleymarine.com.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the AHSAA, are the 138,000 high school sports students in Alabama. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on a Throwback Thursday. We are getting closer to the weekend, and it is day one of the World Cup. And I couldn't think of a better guest to bring him on than one of our soccer experts from Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Tyler Dykes making his Sports Visions morning show debut. Tyler, what's going on?
Not much, Richard. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about soccer. Of course, we got the World Cup, and also we had some exciting friendlies going into it. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Richard, for having me on Sports Visions. Let's get to talking some soccer.
All right, like DJ Jones says, before we get to the heavy lifting, who is Tyler Dykes? This is your opportunity just to tell your story. A lot of people don't even know who you are. I mean, if they watch Georgia Alabama Sports Live, they know you're our soccer expert and also one of our top producers. But just talk about your background, your sports background, where this love for soccer come from, and other sports you liked, and where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I grew up in the area. I grew up within 30 minutes of Columbus, Georgia. Lived basically within an hour of Columbus my whole life. Went to Glenwood and then graduated from there. Went to Auburn University. And I would say my love for soccer, I think, started with how a lot of kids my age, post video games becoming popular. I started liking it because I started playing the FIFA games, got into it. That kind of taught me how the league system works a little bit, promotion, relegation over in England, all that kind of stuff. But my true love for soccer just kind of came from friend invited me to a U.S. Gold Cup match in the Georgia Dome. This was the Mercedes-Benz Stadium was being built, and it was the U.S. I think we were playing Panama. I can't remember who it was, but it was a semifinal matchup. And just going to that match, it just seemed like the enthusiasm for the sport and how the fans from different nations were coming together. I believe Mexico and Panama were playing after the U.S. in that game, and like there were Mexican team fans already there, like already having a fun and a good time. So that made me just kind of start to love the sport, and then just over the years, just following leagues like the Premier League, following the international scene as well, it just made me grow in love with the sport a lot more. And then last couple of years, I'd say I've gone hardcore, like following it, following the teams, following the league structures around the world, following the international, got the World Cup coming up. So very exciting times to be a soccer fan, not only internationally, but also in Columbus, with what we do with Georgia Alabama Sports Live, going around to the local high schools in the area, just seeing the enthusiasm even at that level for the sport, and then go to Columbus United and seeing most of the stands packed out for that game. So it's really exciting to see how soccer is growing in the area, especially here in Columbus.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And I noticed that your passion for soccer, when you were calling some high school soccer matches, and you were on the call with me for Columbus United last week, and your knowledge is just so impressive. But most importantly, I've gotten to know you for the past couple of years as you joined our team at Georgia Alabama Sports Live and helping out with the GIAA. We had a long car ride from Statesboro, so I've really gotten to know you, and I'm glad that the Sports Visions morning show is able to get to know who Tyler Dykes is. But before we get into the World Cup, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, because it is day one of the World Cup. It's obviously it's like a holiday for soccer fans. We got 48 teams. We've got like over 120 matches. This is an incredible time if you're a soccer fan. We did have a friendly on Tuesday night up at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I was blown away. 88,000 fans packing the planes. For a friendly. Yeah, it was a friendly, Tyler.
Yes.
Argentina beat Iceland 3-0. Most importantly, a lot of the fans got to see Lionel Messi with that penalty kick. He waved to the crowd. If you were down the lower deck, they were zooming in their phones and they got their pictures of Lionel Messi, and it was a great moment that they will cherish for the rest of their lives. Were you surprised, especially with the demographics in the South, with the passion of college football, that they got up for an international soccer match like this and 88,000 fans? By the way, the largest international soccer game attended since the 1996 Olympics.
Yeah. Part of me is surprised and part of me isn't. I think part of me is surprised at how well the Auburn community embraced that match. Of course, you got the reigning world champions. You have easily the most popular player in America, if not one of the most popular players in the world, definitely top three. I think you can have a debate on if he's the most popular versus Ronaldo, but I think from what I saw when I first went to that international match a decade ago, is that soccer fans are extremely passionate, and soccer fans at the international level, they will follow their national teams around. So wherever Argentina is, you bet there's going to be a lot of Argentinian citizens, a lot of Argentinian fans who came over who's going to follow them around. So just seeing them there in Auburn embracing the Southeast was really cool. But then also just, people who are from the area, people who are local, going in and just seeing what international soccer is all about. It's a great thing to, again, I talk about the sport growing, but it's a great thing to see Auburn embrace the sport and have one of its biggest attendances basically a sellout at Jordan-Hare, and who knows how many thousands were not in the stadium, just there to take in the atmosphere. So it was great to see, and of course, Messi scoring the penalty in the warm-up. I see here he subbed on in around the 70th minute, I believe, and then grabbed that penalty a couple minutes later. But it's just great to see soccer growing, and Jordan-Hare, of course, blew it out of the park with their 2 giant video boards. They did some of their traditions. They had the eagle fly before the game, so it's great to see, and also just a great final warm-up match for Argentina as they're about to go in to the World Cup, which again starts today.
Yeah, I thought the Argentina national team really got a kick of that eagle flying in. I think they were realizing that they were in a college town with a lot of tradition with the Auburn Tigers. But the administration, they put on a fantastic product, and transforming a college stadium into a soccer field with that international appeal to it was just incredible. All right, Tyler, today is day 1 of the World Cup.
It is.
Look, the thing about this is, it's not like you have multiple matches going on all at the same time. They spread this thing out. This first week alone, if you're a soccer fan, you could see soccer matches starting at noon all the way up until even midnight. I think Saturday night there's a game that's, because it's in Vancouver, it's at midnight. So if you want to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning like you normally do when you watch the Premier League, I don't know if you do that, Tyler, but let's talk about Mexico is one of the hosts along with Canada and the United States, and they are taking on South Africa, 3 o'clock. I know that there's going to be some watch parties. Just the soccer fan in general just wants to watch the first game of the World Cup. And then later tonight, you got South Korea taking on the Czech Republic. Are you going to watch any of these soccer matches today just because they're having that appeal? Obviously, Mexico is our neighbors to the south, and secretly we want them to do well, but we root against them when they're playing the United States. But what's your takeaway on day 1 of the World Cup?
Yeah, day 1's going to be exciting. Again, Mexico opening it up against South Africa, and then, like you said, South Korea and the Czech Republic going on at 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm really excited. I don't think I'll be able to watch it live, but I'm definitely going to try to not pay attention to the match, not try to have any spoilers come across on my phone. So when I get back later today, I'm going to be watching. My plan is I would love to be able to watch I believe it's 104 matches from all the way from the group stage to the final. So I would love to watch all 104 of those. But yeah, Mexico, South Africa coming up with a great start to start off the World Cup campaign. And I was going to say what my prediction was. I said it was going to be 3-1 to South Africa. 3-1 to Mexico. Excuse me. To start the matchup. I think opening up in Mexico City, you're going to have a lot of the fans there. The excitement of the World Cup finally beginning. I think Mexico will win 3-1. And then I have a 1-1 draw against South Korea and the Czech Republic in Vancouver tonight. I just think that's going to be – I think those are fairly even teams. The app that I have in their prediction, they have South Korea at 36% of a win, the Czech Republic at 33%. So, of course, the draws, that makes up the difference there. So I have them at a draw too. But I just think it's going to be really exciting, really great opening day. And like you said, this weekend, I think there's going to be 15 to 20 matches between now and next Monday. So excited to get the World Cup going. But, of course, what we're all looking for is the U.S. and I believe it's Paraguay starting tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Tyler Dykes, everybody from Georgia, Alabama Sports Live and soccer enthusiasts. We are talking all things World Cup. By the way, group play goes from June 11th through the 27th, the round of 32. Get this, June 28th to July 3rd, they've added an extra round of 32 because they now have 48 soccer matches. Let's talk about the United States. Do you feel they have a tough group? I was looking at the FIFA rankings. I think that there is not an easy match. Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey, they could all easily lose to or even tie if they're not on their A game. I think that the United States, there is a lot of pressure to get out of the group. But now with the round of 32, there's not a whole lot of pressure to finish in first or second because you could be in third place and still make it to the round of 32. What's your takeaway on this national team that the United States is going to have this year for the 2026 World Cup?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of questions that are asked of the U.S. men's national team going into. Of course, we didn't qualify in 2018, and then in 2022, We kind of made a tough run of it as well. We still haven't won a knockout game, even if we've gotten out of the group. But yeah, a lot of questions for the U.S. and of course for all of these national teams going into the next, we call it the World Cup cycle. So after this World Cup going into 2030, I think a lot of questions are going to be asked. In 2022, we got out of Group B with 5 points. And just double checking where we came out of. I don't believe, we didn't get out of the knockout. We made it to the round of 16. So I think for us, getting out of the group is the top priority. We need to do that no matter what. And like you said, getting out of the group this year is maybe made a little simpler I'll explain for those who may be just casually coming into the World Cup, looking at the U.S. team and been looking at the table and wondering what's going on. So top 2 automatically qualify to the round of 32. And then the next 8 for the third place teams, the 8 best third place teams move on as well to the round of 32. So again, a little more wiggle room. You just got to hope if you're in the third place that you're in the top 8 of those third place. But again, Turkey is ranked 22nd. We're ranked 16th. Australia is ranked 27th, and Paraguay is ranked 40th. So a pretty even group, even though Paraguay, of course, is probably the outlier there. Between the U.S., Australia, and Turkey, it's going to be a hard fight for the top 3. I would hope that we get out of the group in the 2 automatic places. If we do, I believe we'll come in second. I just think there might be a stumbling block match there, and you've only got 3 matches to do that with. But I would love to see U.S. get out of the group, get out to the round of 32. I would love to see us win a knockout in the round of 32, make it to the round of 16. I think that'd be a great start for us, even if we can make it to the quarters, depending on the draw that we get. But I think for the U.S., we need to get out of the group there. If we don't get out of the group, more questions need to be raised, and we need to see what happens with the national team going into 2030, which, of course, we will have to qualify for that World Cup. So very interesting. I'm excited. 9 o'clock tomorrow again. I believe it's against Paraguay.
Oh, yeah.
To start off our World Cup campaign in round 1. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think we could win that. I have on my prediction that's going to be a 1-1 draw. I hope that we don't have like a first match syndrome there where we just kind of come out the gates slow, but I hope we come out the gates quick and grab 3 points. But I'm interested to see how that goes tomorrow at 9. And yeah, excited for the U.S. And we play Friday at 3, and then I believe we have a 10 o'clock to end up the group stages. We do against Turkey on the 25th at 10. So good run, good group, and let's see if we can get out of it.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait. We're just going to talk about just that first week because group play, they spread it out for a week. The second match in group play doesn't happen until next week. Is there any intriguing matchups over the weekend? I mean, and also, how excited are you for that matchup on Monday at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium at noon between Spain and Cape Verde?
Yeah, to have a World Cup match is big for any city, and having it in Atlanta again, and you're seeing, if you look over on X or on Twitter, like all the European fans coming over, learning, I guess, our American culture has been fun to see. So them seeing a group in Atlanta is going to be really fun to see what they can make of that town there. I think France is matchup because you got one of Africa's best teams against France, who is a World Cup favorite going in.
Yes.
So really exciting match to see. England and Croatia will be another good match between 2 even teams. Ghana, Panama. That's an interesting matchup just because of where they face in their own international federations. I think those 2 teams are fairly even. May not be a strong matchup in terms of like the world or in the totality of the cup. So, but I think that'll be a close matchup. Yeah, those are really exciting matches to see. Again, Spain and Cape Verde coming to Atlanta. And I believe Atlanta gets the quarter. I believe Atlanta gets the semifinal as well. So that'll be a big match for Atlanta. Yeah, they do. They get a semifinal on July 15th. Yep. So having one of the biggest matches in an hour and a half from us is going to be great to see, and just a lot of fun to see who makes it at that point.
Yeah, I'm excited. Atlanta is hosting 8 soccer matches, 5 in group play, and then in the round of 32, round of 16, and the semifinal match. For me, Tyler, I'm really looking forward to France-Senegal. Senegal actually played United States in a friendly, and France, we all know they got Kylian Mbappe. They lost a heartbreaker to Argentina in the 2022 World Cup. And then I got another one, Japan and the Netherlands. You remember a couple of World Cups ago, Japan actually won the group, and the Netherlands, I think the Netherlands are dark horse to win the World Cup. They have never won the World Cup. They've gotten close. They've gotten to the semis. But I'm going to put you on the spot, Tyler. Who's going to win the World Cup?
Ooh, I think France is obviously one of the favorites. I think there's questions around the certain players on that team and see how their teammates react to them. Germany, of course, have a great shot as well. Brazil, a South American favorite. Argentina, again, could make a run. But if I were to put money on it, I'm going to say Germany or Brazil, I think, will come out on top. I think the Netherlands are a good dark horse. I think they'll make it to the quarters, possibly the semis. But you know what? I'll put my name on Germany this year, winning it.
That is
the World
very
Cup
good
here
pick.
in the U.S.
That is a good pick. Germany is second to Brazil with the most World Cup wins. I mean, the West Germany won it, but still we count them as Germany. Spain won it in 2010. They're ranked number 2. I do want to talk about Spain for a moment because this is the hottest ticket in Atlanta. I was looking at StubHub. These tickets for the Spain-Saudi Arabia match is going for like $800. I mean, if you want to see the World Cup in Atlanta, you could see Congo and Uzbekistan. You could see Haiti and Morocco. But Spain has a legitimate chance to win. We briefly talked about this Spanish team, how they have some young soccer phenoms that could end up soccer stars down the road. They're not quite there just yet, but how good is this Spanish team?
Yes, Spain should definitely get out of the group going against Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. You would expect them to be number 1, maybe even invincible with 9 points going out of it. But again, just depends on what their draw is after that coming through the rest of the cup. You would expect them to go deep. You expect the European nations and again Brazil and Argentina to make deep runs in the knockout stages once we get there. I think the U.S. again could be a dark horse in terms of nations outside of Europe or South America that could make the run. But yeah, Spain should be able to get out of that group no problem with 9 points. You would expect. And we'll see what happens with them in the knockouts, especially if they face against France. I think I might put the advantage on France a little bit. Germany, I'd maybe put a little bit on Germany, but I think those are the only 2 teams that may be clear favorites over Spain. Maybe even Germany and Spain could be a draw, but definitely France, Germany would be tough. But then I think you could put Spain up against anybody else in the world, and they would advance to the next round and win that match. So I think Spain's got a fairly easy group. You might hear the term the group of death when you're watching the World Cup. That's basically like the groups to end all groups, the groups of powerhouses. I don't think there's necessarily a group of death in that sense.
48 teams? Come on, there's no group of death.
Yeah, no group of death in this World Cup. Looking at it, I would say maybe Group F. You got Japan, Netherlands, Sweden, and Tunisia. Just how closely tight 3 of those teams are. But yeah, looking at it, I wouldn't say that there is a group of death. But here's the thing: what the Spanish national team can do. And again, the first 2 matches are in Atlanta, so they'll have their second matchup against Saudi. They've played in Mercedes-Benz before, so they'll kind of know what the atmosphere is like, what it feels like. Spanish fans don't have to move around for that second matchup, so we'll see how that goes for them.
All right, Tyler, closer to home because we are in a World Cup year. A lot of soccer fans come out and they just get excited about soccer, especially here in Columbus with Columbus United getting fans packing the A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. You were there on the call with me last week, and there's a pretty decent crowd at A.J. McClung. And we do have a special group of soccer fans here in the Fountain City that just love soccer, and they're supporting Columbus United. What have you seen so far with Columbus United FC, this team out of the USL, 3rd year in existence, 2nd year in the USL, and USL 2, it's a tier as far as developmental league. I mean, you have some college soccer players. We've got some semi-pro players, but it's a tier that's a little bit lower than MLS Next. But just talk about what you have seen so far with the play of Columbus United FC playing in USL 2.
Yeah, I think the play that I saw there was incredible. I think it as a development league is almost putting it a little bit mildly. There was some excellent play. We saw a great comeback, a 3-2 win against Montgomery United when we did that match last Saturday. But I think again, just seeing the culture and the fandom of soccer growing in a town like Columbus, we had the Lions. They had the Lions playing at the same time, and there was still a good turnout for Columbus United over the Columbus Lions. Most of the stands were packed for the United game. But I just think the quality of play, too, is a different level. You saw a semi-professional team there on the pitch on that night, and just how the balls were being delivered, how tactics were changing, how the speed of the teams, just the level of play is really great. So if you are wanting some soccer action here, and can't make it to the World Cup, Columbus United has a couple of home games in a couple of weeks. We're going to be broadcasting for Columbus United. So I would encourage you to come out and watch some fantastic soccer over the next couple of weeks. And again, they were in second place as of that last matchup. So I believe he said that they can move up to the playoffs with inside the USL League 2 if they stay in the top two. But yeah, again, the level of play of Columbus United, the growth of it, going from basically a very small team to now being able to fill up AJ McClung Stadium, I think is a fantastic thing for the sport in Columbus and in the state. So exciting to see that grow. It was a great matchup again. So if you want to see some exciting play, some exciting who the next talents could be in the United States, go and check out Columbus United.
All right, Tyler, my final question to you. Did you stay up late to watch one of the most exciting sports moments in history with that Knicks Spurs Game 4 NBA Finals?
I did not actually. I'm probably one of the few people who haven't watched the NBA Finals yet, but from what I've seen, it's been very exciting. And I believe again the Knicks came back. I saw the Knicks came back for almost like a 30-point halftime lead.
29 down.
Yeah. So just to do that in a Game 4 of an NBA Finals, I think they're now up 3-1. I saw there was a stat, I believe. Thankfully, this didn't happen to the Spurs, but if you're 3-0 down in the series, those teams are 0-162. So technically, they don't have to break that stat. But I mean, coming down, having basically 3 games left, every game being a must-win game, you don't have any more games to kind of hand to the Knicks. Like, it's going to be big for the Spurs to come back, especially if they can make it back home and come back to the series.
Tyler, thank you so much for being on the Sports Vision Morning Show. I'm looking forward to the next time we are calling a game. It'll be next week, June the 17th. We have 2 matches next week. June the 17th at AJ McClung Memorial Stadium, Columbus United FC taking on Birmingham Legion 2. And then on Saturday, on June the 20th, the Father's Day weekend, we've got Columbus United FC and Dothan United. It is going to be so much fun. Looking forward to having you on the call.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Richard. And again, if you want to come out to watch some great soccer, go out to AJ McClung for those 2 games. Again, World Cup is coming up. Maybe in the future we could talk about the results of it and at the end what happened. But I'm really looking forward to it. Again, 3:00 start here on the East Coast for the World Cup.
Tyler, you hit it out of the park with your debut on the Sports Visions Morning Show. I hope this is not the only time that we get you on. We'd love to have you back, especially when DJ and Thrift is back in the studio. Man, it was been such a great interview. I've been blown away by your love for soccer and really your love for sports in general.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for having me on, Richard. And again, I hope to be back on here soon.
All right. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you.
All right. That's Tyler Dykes, everybody. He's part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. He is my soccer broadcast member. And he is a great friend and just love chopping it up with him, talking everything sports. Hey, we got a couple minutes before we get to the top of the hour. Don't forget, WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson is going to be coming up at 7:15. And then we've got Mike Woods from Girls Inc. at 8 o'clock. And then WTVM Sports anchor Mackenzie Collins. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that the Sports Visions Morning Show is on the air. DJ's in Tampa. Thrift should be joining me soon, but it's a great day for a great day. I'm just excited that we're getting closer and closer to the weekend. Hey, there's a special football camp that I do want to talk about. I'll get into it more at the top of the hour. Michael Williams, Otis Spencer Stadium, still trying to get a time for that. That's ages 13 through 17. The 49ers defensive end and former Hardaway Hawk. That last played for the Hardaway Hawks back in 2021 and played for the University of Georgia. First-round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers. Looking for a great sophomore season. Did get injured early on. He only played 9 games last year, but he did get injured in that game against the Giants. But he had an impact as a rookie. He did have 1 sack. He had a lot of pressures in the beginning of the season. I think Michael Williams is going to be a huge part of that 49ers defense. And former Falcons coach Raheem Morris is now the defensive coordinator. So that's going to be pretty exciting, and I can't wait to see it. Hopefully I can make it out there so I could get my picture with Michael Williams. And I'm just kidding. It's for the kids. I may have to stay home if we're not covering it. So hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and take a break? And when we come back, we'll have the top of the hour. JP, Jack Patterson, will come on the show. That'll be at 7:15. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. And we are your hometown sports guys.
Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't want to die for them to miss.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Do you want to win a brand new car? Now's your chance. Just head on over to the Sports Visions website and register to win a brand new Chevy Trax from Sun Chevrolet. Winner announced June 20th at 5 p.m. Must be present to win.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone,
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
but treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
Families from across the Chattahoochee Valley are invited to gather for fireworks with North Highland, a free community celebration taking place on Friday, July 3rd at North Highland Church, located at 7300 Whittlesey Boulevard in Columbus. Beginning at 7 p.m., guests will enjoy an evening of live music, family-friendly activities, complimentary popsicles, and a community celebration leading up to a professional fireworks show beginning at approximately 9:30. Guests are encouraged to bring lawn chairs, blankets, family, friends, and neighbors. Free parking will be available on site.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at ymca.org for a better us.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that generic drugs are just as safe and effective as brand name drugs? Generics might look different, but they work the same way. And they can even save you money. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. Or visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Denver Broncos 1987 AFC champion DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Great Thursday morning. It's Richard Holdridge here in the studio filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. We are getting ready for the weekend. Don't forget, we have got a best of show tomorrow as DJ is in Tampa. Looking forward to having him back in the studio on Monday. I'm looking forward to the whole crew being back in the studio on Monday, just chopping it up and giving you all the local sports in the Chattahoochee Valley. Where else are you going to find a local sports talk show here in the mornings, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9? We're talking about everything. We're talking about that crazy NBA Finals game last night. I am still blown away, and I know that there are some Knicks fans that are still in jubilation, that can't sleep. They're completely shocked. Like the legendary Jack Buck says, I don't believe what I just saw. Even Stephen A. Smith had some jubilation in his voice when he was trying to report on the Knicks. And the big question is, did the Spurs blow it? Did they choke this game away? They gave up a 29-point lead. Folks, this is actually, we're starting to talk about, could be the worst sports collapse. I'm not going to say worst sports collapse because there is one that happened 10 years ago that I don't want to mention. But this was absolutely detrimental. Was this a final nail in the coffin? Did the Knicks end up closing it out in San Antonio Saturday night and winning their first NBA title since 1973? I tell you, when they were panning the crowd and Mike Breen said that the place was shaking, it was just a great sports moment. One of those great sports moments that will live in history. OG Anunoby's tip will forever play that in our minds. And I think that's why we do what we do. We get on the radio and talk sports because it's plays like that get us excited about sports. Hey, want to thank Tyler Dykes in the first hour. Wow, what a segment. You talk about a soccer expert, somebody who loves soccer, eats, breathes, and sleeps soccer. He's got soccer jerseys, soccer scarves. He's staying up at 3 a.m. Watching the Premier League. He's binge watching Ted Lasso. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's doing all that, but obviously he absolutely loves soccer. And I would like to get on his level. I mean, we're on the broadcast. He's talking formations. I'm still learning the soccer terminology. I love the game, but I'll be honest with you guys. It's not my number one sport. It's number 5 behind baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. I mean, I still love soccer though. But if you ask like, what's your favorite soccer team? I'll say Atlanta United. I'll say that MLS team that won the MLS Cup in 2018. And that's still a good answer because Atlanta United is a very good team, and we have a lot of passionate soccer fans up in Atlanta. But when we're talking international teams, I know about Manchester United. I know about Juventus. I know about Paris Saint-Germain. But there's not a whole lot that I don't follow the Premier League like I should. Maybe because like when I was a kid and you get the Sunday paper and you read the box score, they didn't have box scores. They didn't have box scores for the Premier League. So maybe that's why I didn't really grow up with it. But I do appreciate those soccer leagues, and the Premier League has more World Cup participants than any other league, and it's not even close. They have at least over 150 players that are participating in this World Cup. World Cup kicks off today, 3:00 down in Mexico City. It's Mexico, South Africa, and then later tonight, South Korea and the Czech Republic. Canada taking on Bosnia tomorrow, and then the United States taking on Paraguay. It's a Friday night. I hope you stay up late to watch that. I know I will. My wife and I, we're heading up north to pick up the kids from summer camp, but then Friday, Saturday, it's really a reset day for us, but I'll be sitting there, maybe just watching it on my phone, and hopefully I don't fall asleep, but usually I have those recorded, and if I do fall asleep, I just wake up and catch the end of the soccer match, and I'm invested in the World Cup. I've been following the United States in this World Cup since 1990. When the United States qualified in 1990, I was on the couch watching every single soccer match. They didn't fare well against Czechoslovakia. They ended up losing 5-1. They didn't get out of the group in 90. 94 was special because I was in high school and the United States hosted the World Cup. In fact, the World Cup final was at the Rose Bowl. That United States-Brazil group of 16, that actually was 30 minutes from my house at Sanford Stadium. But I will forever remember the shot that hit the post. And then, of course, I know the Brazilian goal scorer, Bebeto. I mean, obviously, that's gut-wrenching when Brazil beat the United States 1-0. 98 didn't fare so well, losing to Yugoslavia, Iran. They lost to Germany 2-0. 2002 was their best World Cup, getting all the way to the quarterfinals, losing to Germany. Still to this day think that they could have beaten Germany. So there was a lot of expectations for 2006. I don't know what happened in 2006. I don't know how you can explain losing to the Czech Republic 3-0 in group play. You tie Italy, who ended up winning the World Cup, but that was actually a good result. And then you lose to Ghana. What is going on? Like, I know people were just pulling their hair thinking, what is going on with the United States? They can't even get out of the group. And then 2010, they do get out of the group, but guess what? They have to face Ghana again, and they lose to Ghana. Ghana was our Achilles heel. The United States just couldn't figure out Ghana. 2014, guess what? They were in the group of death, and their first matchup was against Ghana. How about that? They tied Germany. They lost to Germany. I can't remember if they beat or tied Germany. Germany was in that, and then they lose to Belgium. Tim Howard was standing on his head. He had one of the greatest goalie moments in United States soccer history. And then the unthinkable happened in 2018. I remember it to this day. They're playing Trinidad and Tobago on a high school field, and they lose, and they cannot qualify for the World Cup in 2018. What a travesty. And then 2022, a special moment. It's Qatar. They move it to November and December. Is kind of cool to, have Thanksgiving with the family and watching World Cup matches and getting to see that. United States does play the Netherlands out of the group. Christian Pulisic with that heroic goal that he was able to score against Iran. But still, tying Wales is unacceptable. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow against Paraguay. I hope they win. But if they tie, I'm going to get on here on Monday and just let some frustrations out. They also will play Australia and Turkey. This is not an easy group. I wouldn't consider this a group of death, but if you look at the FIFA rankings, the United States are ranked higher than Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. So I'm interested to see how the United States fares against Paraguay. Need to find some goal scoring. You got Christian Pulisic. He's one of the top soccer players in the world. Let's get him going. Let's rally around Christian Pulisic like he's the soccer star that he is supposed to be, just like Argentina rallies around Lionel Messi. I think that Christian Pulisic, when it's all said and done, could go down as one of the greatest soccer players in the American history. And that's not a knock on Landon Donovan. I think Landon Donovan is great. I think that Clint Dempsey is great. I mean, they had their moments. But if the United States can get at least to the quarters, Christian Pulisic may end up going down as one of the greatest soccer players in American history. Hey, I was actually, I had a pretty busy week. Thrift Barringer and I, we were just calling these summer league games at Columbus State University. First and foremost, thank you to Robert Moore, the coach of the CSU Cougars, and his staff for putting on an incredible team camp. We had games all day. We actually called several games in the afternoon. I was back at the Lumpkin Center. We called 3 games yesterday. We called Carver taking on Bradwell Institute. Bradwell Institute is a school out of Hinesville. We called Chaco and Whitewater. It was really interesting to see this Chaco team without Champ Simpson. They got some other players that went on to graduate. And then Carver played Farrell, the rematch of the second round playoff game last year, where Farrell ended up pulling off the upset. and they ended up going all the way to the Final Four where they lose to the eventual champions, Morgan County. Carver looks good. And I know that Tobias Tolbert's now at Kennesaw State, but TJ Woodson is just continuing to get better and better, stronger. He is a facilitator now. I see him running the point. He's got great ball handling skills, great passing, and he can also shoot the ball. Jalen Jacobs was shooting lights out. You had Tyler Matthews blocking shots. I mean, this Carver team, I think that they could be a championship contender once again, like they've had the past couple of years. Now, as for Chaco, they got to the Final Four last year. Champ Simpson was two-time Region Player of the Year. He's now at Southeast Missouri. He averaged 21 points a game. But Bam Purnell, he looked spectacular. I think that they're going to be playing around Bam Purnell. He is going to be the go-to guy. He is a two-way player. He can block shots. He could steal. He could definitely score. He could play above the rim. I think that Coach Sean Glenn has got a team that's going to be fun to watch. I hope that we're able to live stream some Chaco games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live like we've had in the past. I remember the first Chaco home opener against Shaw. Champ Simpson had a dunk that went viral, and that is a special moment that I will always remember. But I do appreciate the administration at Chaco really for reaching out to us and allowing us to stream any game we want. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I still think Chaco is going to be fine, even without Champ Simpson. They lost Jalen Tullis, Gavin Patterson. They've lost some key seniors, but Bam Purnell, that's the player to watch out for this upcoming season. I know we're talking high school basketball, and it's the summertime, but, you know, what can I say? We love basketball. I'm a huge basketball fan, even in the summertime. But I can't wait for the fall season. We've got high school football just around the corner. And, of course, we got volleyball, softball, cross country, all the fall sports. But it is summer. It is time to just reflect back on an incredible school year, but also to take it easy, to maybe go to the pool, go on vacation, rent an RV and go to an RV park or just drive across country. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that, but that is something that I'm intrigued by, taking those summer vacations like we always do, and looking forward to just spending time with my family for the summer. And, you know, people say that, you know, the summer months are slow sports months. Well, I mean, with the World Cup, it definitely is not a slow sports month. But, you know, with the World Cup going on, you know, we've got the NBA Finals. Game 5 of the NBA Finals is going to be at San Antonio. I think the Knicks close it out. I think they win it in 5. And the jubilation and the celebration, I am anticipating it is going to be a big, giant block party in the Big Apple. And with World Cup matches in the Big Apple, I can't even imagine what that security is going to be like. But there's a lot of Knicks fans out there, and they could taste it. They are so close. One win away from winning the title. The Spurs had a chance to go up 2-2 and or tie it 2-2, and I thought they would. 29-point lead. They should have won that game. I can't imagine what they're thinking right now. To squander a 29-point lead, De'Aaron Fox is, I don't know what he's thinking. You're up by 1, you steal the ball, and you try to go up for a layup, and you miss the layup. He could have ran out the clock. Spurs could have won. We could have gone 2-2 back to San Antonio. He misses the layup. Jalen Brunson has the ball now. And in the sequence, in that moment, you don't call timeout. You just let the play out because you're trying to catch the Spurs off guard. OG Anunoby, where did he come from? Jalen Brunson misses that shot. OG Anunoby tips it in, and the Knicks are up by 1. Man, I still am shocked this morning. And I know the Knicks fans are too. But I tell you what, it was an incredible play that will live forever in Knicks basketball history. And it's one of the better sports moments that we have ever witnessed. You know, I'm a big historian when it comes to sports. I love the fact that I could talk sports. But, hey, don't forget, coming up at 7:15, just on the other side of the break, we got WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. We are your hometown sports guys.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. A judge has denied Ibrahim Yazid's request for a new trial. His attorneys filed a motion earlier this month claiming there was not enough evidence to convict him of the murder of Anaya Blanchard. Yazid was convicted on 2 murder counts and sentenced to life in prison for her 2019 death. In Columbus, Paws Humane Society says space-related euthanasia is no longer on the table. Director Courtney Pierce says the shelter is still full, but no longer at critical capacity. Since last week, community members have stepped up to adopt and foster pets. Lastly, the Columbus Police Department has released a second report on the weekend activity in downtown Columbus. On June 5th and 6th, police report they responded to 13 dispatch calls for service, issued 13 citations, and made contact with 75 minors. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings.
Good Thursday morning. We are off on a warm note with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and we're seeing just mostly clear skies across the area this morning. But it's going to be another quick warm up as we go throughout the day. Afternoon temperatures are going to be climbing into the low 90s, and yes, heat index values are going to be climbing into the upper 90s. This is going to be quite hot this afternoon. Tonight, clear, humid, and warm. Lows falling in the mid 70s. Warm weather continues through Saturday with mid 90s. Better rain chances next week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's checking in at 6'4", 230. It's WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson.
Hey, what's up and what's good, man?
Man, I'm sorry. I don't do it as good as DJ. I was trying to give you the introduction.
Hey, you did good, man. You did good.
Look, we were at the Pacelli press conference yesterday. Pacelli's got a new baseball coach. I gave you a forewarning that I was actually hosting the show. DJ's out of town in Tampa, that I was going to be hosting the show either with me or Thrift. But, you were prepared. You were ready to get me this morning. So thank you for joining the show.
Absolutely, man. I'm ready for anything you throw at me, man. Let's go.
Absolutely. Hey, Pacelli's got a new baseball coach. What do we know about Kobe Vance? I actually had to pull him up in a Baseball Reference to see he did play minor league baseball. He played college baseball at the University of Alabama. He's only 28 years old. But what type of coach do you think the Pacelli Vikings are going to get?
Richard, I really think this is a good move for the Pacelli baseball program because it brings stability to the program. That's something that program hasn't had in the last few years. It brings stability. You have somebody who's fresh, okay? Somebody who's played the game at a high level. You played SEC baseball. He played, 6 years in the A's and Marlins system. So you have somebody who has played top-level college baseball. You have somebody who has played their way through the minors. He made it to the AAA level. And, that stuff's important. I feel like that experience is important. And he talked about, player development. And that's something he's already been doing, too. Already been working on ever since his professional career ended. He's been working on player development. I feel like this is the next step in that. And like I said, I think this is a good move for Pacelli. He was already, meeting with players yesterday after his introductory press conference, and he's excited and ready to go. And like I said, you need somebody like that for this position. And like I said, I think Pacelli has, found somebody that is going to be good for them long term.
Yeah, no question about it. Pacelli won a state title back in 2002. Competing in the GIAA is always tough, especially when you have Brookstone Cavalry, and now Heritage is in that region. But we wish Coach Vance the best of luck. I can't wait. I think that he's going to do great. You're talking about a young coach who's just a couple of years removed from the minor leagues. He played for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos in 2023. He did play for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I think that lead by example mentality, because he's been there and he was there recently. I think the players are going to respect him for that, and I can't wait to see him get to work.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, somebody who is, these kids have aspirations of making it to the majors, okay? And to have somebody who you can say has been down that road, been down the road of playing major college baseball, been down the road of playing through the minors, so he can tell them what it's gonna take. And I think that stuff pays dividends, especially, the age gap, like you mentioned, the age gap's not that different, okay? So he can say, hey, listen, I was in your shoes not that long ago.
Right.
Okay. So it's not, and not saying that our more experienced coaches don't know that, as well, but when you know what it's like more recently, if that makes sense.
All right, Jack, there are several directions I wanted to go with you. I mean, it's just going to be you and me, so we could talk about anything. I do want to talk about Game 4 last night. I've got on the show this morning and said that might be the craziest sports moment I have ever witnessed in my lifetime. I know you've seen crazier, but the tip that will live in infamy, OG Anunoby. Did you catch that game, or were you already sleeping by the time that game ended?
I wasn't sleeping. I was actually on set when all that was happening.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
All that was going down while I was getting ready to go on the air during the 11 o'clock news last night.
Come on, man.
I was watching. I had just finished my sports cast and came off the desk, went into our control room, which is just outside the studio, and watched that tip in, and literally went back on for the last segment of the show and reported on what just happened.
There you go.
It's, for the life of me, I cannot believe that happened. I cannot believe that happened. When you're, and a lot of people are saying, the big thing was the Spurs were up by 29, right? That was the third quarter. The thing that gets me is the Spurs were up by 20 with 9 minutes to go.
Oh, man.
Okay? Like, a 29-point lead, that can evaporate in basically 2 quarters, because it was late. It was early in the third quarter when that happened. Okay? But you were up by 20 with 9 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that gets me. And I honestly think, man, I really do think that it might be curtains for San Antonio. San Antonio's a good team, okay? But no one has experienced what Madison Square Garden is going to be like for Game 5. Nobody has experienced that, okay? Because let's be real. The Knicks have not come this close to winning an NBA championship in the majority of our lifetimes.
Yeah,
okay.
94 was a 7-game series.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Okay. But here's the thing. Where did that series finish up, Richard? It didn't finish in the Garden.
No, it finished in Houston.
Exactly. They have the opportunity to win the championship on home court. That place is going to be a madhouse. It's going to be a place, I don't want to say hostile role environment, but it's going to be far from me.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, I really think it's going to be tough for City. Now, if they get out of New York City, extend the series back to San Antonio, I think it might be game on. But it's going to be extremely hard to do so when the Larry O'Brien trophy is going to be a Madison Square Garden for Game 5.
Yeah, Jack, I was looking at the NBA Finals schedule. They actually went back to the 2-2-1-1 format. You remember when the NBA Finals used to be 2-3-2?
See, I thought it was still 2-3-2.
I thought it was still 2-3-2 as well. I'm like, I was seeing, okay, where's Game 5? That's good. Oh, it's in San Antonio. But I do think that the Spurs do take Game 5, and we could end up seeing the Knicks clinching a Game 6 on Tuesday.
Yeah, I was going to say, that helps the Spurs massively, okay, that they get Game 5 back on home court.
They're too good, to just give up. That
changes my perspective, okay? That helps the Spurs massively to win Game 5, but when that they have Game 5 on their home floor, but let's also remember that the Knicks have also won the first 2 games in San Antonio in this series too, so it's not like the Knicks can't do it in San Antonio. So, but I think it'll be easier for them to for San Antonio to stay in the series, knowing that Game 5 is on their home floor, and then, you know, like I said, Game 6, if there is a Game 6, will be a madhouse.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Jack, this series is far from over. The Spurs are so good that they've gotten out to big leads in every single game against the Knicks, and I think that they take Game 5 and it goes back to the Garden for a Game 6.
But you gotta finish, Richard. That's the thing about it. You gotta finish, and that's where the Spurs have slacked, and that's where the Knicks have thrived. And you know, at this point of the series, like, you can't let last night happen.
Oh yeah,
you cannot let last night happen, and because now you have given not just the team but the fan base unreal momentum, and you know, momentum is a serious thing, and I just don't know. You know, like I said, I'm not doubting Wemby. I'm not doubting Castle. I'm not doubting any of these guys. Okay, they're a great team with great years to come, but I'm not. Well, I say I'm not doubting them, but I'm just saying it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard.
Jack, today is the first day of the World Cup. Last Tuesday, we saw a sight I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. 88,000 fans for an international friendly in a college town. Auburn hit it out of the park, making Jordan-Hare Stadium just like a soccer-specific stadium. Were you shocked that many fans showed up for Argentina-Iceland, a friendly? I know Lionel Messi was playing, but some of the fans that I talked to that got to experience this is an experience of a lifetime they'll never forget.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Richard. I'm not shocked that it was so packed. It's just, I think the most shocking thing to me is it is honestly beautiful, is the melting pot of cultures that came together for the match.
Yes.
And, you know, being on the ground and being able to see it firsthand, I mean, it was just awesome. It really was. It was really cool. I was able to be down on the field pre-match, and just the electricity building throughout the stadium. And then when Messi came out on the field to warm up pre-match, like, you would have thought Auburn had just kicked the game-winning field goal. And then went later in the match when Messi scored on that penalty kick in the 72nd minute. I've covered a lot of games inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium, Richard, and few times have I ever heard that stadium as loud as when it was when Messi scored.
Wow.
Like, the press box shook a little. And that's reserved for, you know, when something major happens. And like I said, it was a fantastic atmosphere. Like you said, Auburn hit it out of the park. And, you know, even the Iceland coach, when he spoke in his press conference after the match, he said, I feel like this is just showing what the World Cup's going to be like. You know, the Auburn fans were enthusiastic. They know their game. And he said, if this is what it was like for just a friendly, that he couldn't wait to see what it was going to be like for the World Cup.
Yeah, no question about it. I'm excited about the World Cup as it kicks off today. But let's switch gears. Let's talk Columbus Lions. They got the showdown for first place this Saturday against the Wheeling Miners. This was a close game when Wheeling came down to the Civic Center. The Lions only won by 2. There are some tiebreaker scenarios. If Wheeling does win more than 2 points, then they end up taking first place and they'll get home field advantage in the AAL playoffs. You talk about when you're facing competition, getting prepared for Wheeling. The Lions have not had that because they've been blowing everybody out. But why is this Wheeling Miners team different than the other teams that the Lions have faced?
Simply put, because they're built similarly to them. Okay, and the Miners, they've been a fantastic organization for years. Okay, and remember that these two teams had great battles last year when both teams were in the NAL. So and both of these teams are built similarly, and honestly, it's been it was the match that we had circled on the calendar at the beginning of the season here at the Civic Center. And obviously, for the same exact reason, it's the match that we had circled on the calendar as they make the return trip to Wheeling. And, it won't be an easy trip. But, I think you take into the fact that you've done this once, okay? So you know what it's going to take. So now you just got to go do it. Obviously, it's not going to be as easy because you're on the road. And Wheeling's fan base is going to be better than pretty much any other fan base they played in front of this year. So it's going to be loud inside that arena. I've actually been inside of that arena before, and it gets loud inside of that arena. So like I said, it won't be easy for the Lions, but it can be done. And I think it goes back to what Damian Daniels has said all year, that you got to take it one game at a time.
And my final question to you, Jack, Hurston Waltrip, the Braves pitcher, the former Cairo syrup maker. He played college baseball at the University of Florida. He makes a rehab start tonight at Synovus Park. What are you looking forward to about seeing Hurston Waltrip? Also, obviously, we want him to have a quality start so he can get up to the big leagues and be a part of that pitching rotation for the Braves.
And that's exactly what you're looking for, Richard. You're looking for quality start. You're looking for consistency. You're looking for good stuff. You want him to be able to have command of his stuff. You want him to have good speed, being able to locate his pitch as well, and just being able to, go out there and handle his business. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for essentially what makes Hurston Waltrip really good. And he's a man that can go out there and give you quality starts and, put you in good position to set things up for your bullpen. And that's what you're looking for out of Waltrip is, command, speed, and just going out there and handling business and just showing that he's made it past his injury. If he can do that, that's a good day for the Braves and the Clean Stuff.
All right, Jack, before you get out of here, tell everybody out there how they could follow you on social media and where they can watch you on TV.
All right, so you can follow me on Twitter by using the socials right there under my name. You can follow me on Facebook as well, Jack Patterson Sports, and the sports team over at WRBL News 3 Sports. And then catch us on TV tonight, WRBL News 3. We'll have you cover all things sports here in the Chattahoochee Valley.
It's Jack Patterson, everybody, WRBL Sports Director. Thank you, JP, for joining the show, and looking forward to having you on. And love chopping up with you and being out in the community. And thank you once again.
No problem. Appreciate you, Richard.
All right, y'all. That's Jack Patterson. That's JP. Return to the Jack. And he was kind enough to come on like he always does on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hey, don't go anywhere. We got more Sports Visions morning show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Don't forget the top of the hour. We got Mike Woods from Girls Inc. and Mackenzie Collins from WTVM. It's the Sports Vision morning show, the Sports Visions morning show. And we are your hometown sports guys.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Bear, everybody talks about price sells cars, and it does. But I tell you what sells cars better than that, and that's customer service. At Bratton Automotive, I'm going to be your personal sales representative. I'm Michael Bratton, and here we are the bank. Come see us today, and remember, everybody's going to leave with a smile.
It's Welcome to Summer Weekend at Synovus Park, presented by Aflac. June 9th through the 14th, the Clinkstones host the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Thursday, enjoy Soccer Night with a soccer scarf giveaway presented by Aflac, plus Thirsty Thursday and $3 domestic specials. Friday, it's Margaritaville Night with post-game fireworks. And Saturday, the first 1,000 fans receive a Hawaiian shirt giveaway, plus a pregame concert from Immortal Pearl and Kids Run the Bases from Raising Cane's. Get your tickets today at clinkstones.com.
Attorney advertised. Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top Dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
What are you gonna do when that dog chase you? That's what everybody wanna know. That's what they asking. They even changed his name. Go Top Dog. Go Top Dog. Go Top Dog. Go Top Dog. Get him Top Dog. Chase him Top Dog. Bite him Top Dog. Bite him Top Dog. When you call Top Dog, what you want him to do? You want him to go bite somebody. You mad. You angry. You in pain. Sick of Top Dog. Get him Top Dog. Bite him Top Dog. Get him Top Dog. Bite him Top Dog. What are you gonna do when that dog chase you? If you get into an accident, make the call. Call the dog. Top Dog Law.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. That's 800-215-7996.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
What I remember most is the loneliness I felt, the separation from other people. At the end, drinking was no fun for me. Since I've started to attend AA meetings, the greatest gift is that I've become reconnected. I'm part of life again. I really like myself, and that's wonderful. AA is a miracle in my life.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Guys and girls dancing. I see guys and girls dancing.
It's the Sports Visions Morning Show. Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Want to thank WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson coming on the show. And also want to thank Tyler Dykes from Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Hey, it is day one of the World Cup. I am excited. Mexico takes on South Africa. And that's going to be down in Mexico City. 3 o'clock, there are watch parties, especially at Highside Market, home of the pro shop of Columbus United FC. Don't forget that we've got the College World Series that's happening. WNBA, did we forget that Caitlin Clark faced Angel Reese last week? I don't know if anybody forgot. I don't know if anybody remembered, but Angel Reese is having a phenomenal season for the Atlanta Dream. I don't know what to say. She's doing her thing, and the Atlanta Dream have one of the best records in the WNBA. In fact, they're actually tied for second with the Las Vegas Aces. But I just don't want to forget about the WNBA. I know there's a lot of sports going on. I'm a big golf fan. I'm excited about the U.S. Open. I do have a local guy that I am pulling for, and that is Russell Henley. Although I've had some golf fans who are like, well, no, it's Scotty Scheffler is going to win the U.S. Open. I'm like, okay. Well, the U.S. Open, it doesn't take place this week. It's actually Father's Day weekend, June 18th through the 21st at the Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. And we've got some stars like Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, and Russell Henley, which, I've got some friends in Macon that claim him. And yes, he did go to school in Macon, but he calls Columbus his home. And every time Russell Henley wins a big golf tournament, it's a big sports story in Macon, and it's a big sports story in Columbus. So we're both claiming him. But, yeah, big shout-out to Russell Henley, and good luck in the U.S. Open. I tell you what, I mean, you talk about just the grind of the summer months. I know we're not doing a lot of stuff for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We did call some summer games at Columbus State University. They had their Columbus State University men's basketball team camp. Some of the local teams that were featured included Spencer, Carver, Russell County, Central. We had Northside. We had Shaw. We had Chaco. We've had Kendrick. It's been a lot of fun. I've been having a great time at the Lumpkin Center, live streaming some summer basketball games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll also have the Swoosh League brought to you by George Williams next week. And then we've got a 7-on-7 tournament. And don't forget, at the top of the hour, Mike Woods is going to come on. There's a tournament going on that he is going to talk about. It's called Next Game Up. It's a summer league showcase. That's going to be at Double Churches Middle School, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock this morning. The first matchup is actually a varsity game, Opelika taking on Northside. And we do have a middle school matchup between Auburn and Fort. And then we've got a middle school matchup between Pacelli and Chaco. We got a varsity matchup between Brookstone and Opelika. And we also have a varsity matchup, Northside and Auburn. And then Russell County, East County Middle School. Brookstone JV team is taking on Northside's JV team. Team SSB taking on Pacelli Middle School. Fort and Double Churches. Veterans and Baker. Veterans in East Columbus. And then finally, Faith and Baker. That is the lineup for Next Game Up, presented by No Approval. Mike Woods doing great things with Girls Inc. and No Approval. We had a chance to talk to Bridget Gordon, who was part of the panel and the guest speaker for Pressure Makes Diamonds event that happened last week. And so looking forward to having Mike Woods on the show at the top of the hour. Also, at the bottom of the hour, next hour, we got Mackenzie Collins from WTVM sports anchor that's just out and about, covering just about everything. Saw her at the press conference for the new Pacelli baseball coach. And the new Pacelli baseball coach is Kobe Vance, who is a former minor league player, played college baseball at the University of Alabama. He played for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. And one of my questions, I asked him, hey, the Columbus Cleanstones are playing the Pensacola Blue Wahoos tonight. You going to go to the game? And we laughed about it. Obviously, he's rooting for Pensacola because that was the team he played for. But I know he also roots for the Cleanstones as well. But, hey, the Braves are getting ready to take on the White Sox, and they're hoping not to get swept. The White Sox have already beaten the Braves twice in this series. I tell you what, this is not the White Sox that we are used to seeing. The White Sox for the past couple of years have been the worst team in Major League Baseball. But when you accumulate enough draft picks and top prospects, you start getting good. And right now the White Sox are in second place in the AL Central. So the Braves are just hoping to not get swept. Still in first place. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the Phillies. You know, they still got a pretty good cushion. against the Phillies, but they will travel to New York. As crazy as the city of New York is, they're going to go up to Queens to take on the Mets at Citi Field for a 3-game series, and then they're back home next week, and guess who they play? That's right, the San Francisco Giants. You knew that was coming. You knew next week I would be analyzing this rivalry between two former NL West teams, probably the greatest pennant race ever, 1993, by far. The Braves won 104 games. The Giants won 103. The Giants missed out on the playoffs. I will never forget the name Solomon Torres, because that was the pitcher that lost to the Dodgers 15-1. The Braves that year in 1993 got Fred McGriff in a trade with the San Diego Padres. The story was the press box caught fire at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and the Braves also caught fire, and they would end up losing to the Phillies in the NLCS. But that team, they ended up getting Greg Maddux in free agency. They got Fred McGriff. I mean, if you're a Braves fan in the 90s, I mean, it was great times, even though they only have the one World Series. And I'm not being salty because I root for the Braves. I was hoping they would get more World Series titles, but, you know, they were able to be dominant in the 90s to get to that point. They got to 5 World Series titles, but they've had battles with the San Francisco Giants, not just as NL West rivals, but also in the postseason. 2002 comes to mind. And then 2010, when the Giants won the World Series, and they ended up eliminating the Braves. And I know they're Braves fans. They were sick to their stomach because, you know, they should have at least went up in that series, because Eric Hinsky had that go-ahead home run. And, you know, the error by Brooks Conrad will forever be in the minds of Braves fans. And I know Braves fans don't really want to talk about it, but I always love it when the Giants play the Braves, because I try to go to as many games as possible. When I first moved to Atlanta in 2006, I went to Turner Field and saw the Giants play the Braves, and I got to see Barry Bonds at bat, and everybody in Turner Field booed him. And guess what, folks? I got up and I cheered. The person in front of me turned around, and I knew the person in front of me, turned around and said, "Sit down." So it was a funny moment. I thought it was pretty cool. Man, oh man, I still am completely shocked about Game 4 of the NBA Finals. How about those New York Knicks? If you're a Knicks fan, you're pumping your chest. You probably got the throwback Allen Houston jersey with the hat turned back like Turtle from Entourage. But if you are a Spurs fan, you got to just be feeling like there's just an empty taste in your mouth. There's this sense of void. I cannot believe we blew a 29-point lead. De'Aaron Fox, how could you not just run the timeout? You missed the layup. You had possession of the ball. Just run the timeout. You're up by 1. They're not going to foul you. Even if they do, there might be 1 second left. I just don't get it. What does a layup do in that point? It gives the Knicks a chance to tie it with a 3, because the Knicks can call timeout and advance the ball and hit a 3. De'Aaron Fox misses the layup. And then the Knicks go back, and Jalen Brunson had like a Derek Whittenburg to Lorenzo Charles type feel to it. OG Anunoby. There's going to be a statue outside the Garden of OG Anunoby with the tip heard around the world. The New York Knickerbockers, 1 win away from their first NBA title since 1973. And in this century, I'm talking 2000 and above, this will be the 3rd best sports story of all time. Red Sox winning the World Series in 2004, Cubs winning the World Series in 2016, and if the Knicks can pull this off, the Knicks winning the NBA title since 1973. This rivals that. But I tell you what, they have got to close this out. Now, they're going to go back to San Antonio on Saturday for Game 5. Look, don't be that Knicks fan that says, "Oh, I'm okay with the Spurs winning Game 5 so we can clinch at the Garden for Game 6. You don't know that. You don't think that could happen. The Spurs are really good. You have got to try to close it out in Game 5. Don't even think like that. I know that Knicks fans, they want to clinch it at the Garden, but you cannot have that mindset. Look what happened to the Cubs in 2003. They had that mindset when they were up 3-1 on the Marlins. So I just think that's not a good idea to think that way. Close it out in Game 5. I think the Spurs are cooked. I know. You blow a 29-point lead, you're pretty much cooked. I mean, I think this Spurs team is a little young. They're inexperienced. You blow a 29-point lead, but like Jack mentioned, 20 points with 9 minutes to go. And it evaporated quick. And I think that the Knicks can acknowledge the fans at the Garden that fueled that epic comeback. And what a game. Yeah, I stayed up for it. I knew I had to get up early to do the Sports Visions morning show, but I stayed up for it. It was well worth it. All right, before we get to the break and we go to the top of the hour and Mike Woods comes on the show, we've got World Cup matches that are happening today. We also have the College World Series that's happening tomorrow. A very busy sports weekend. At 3 o'clock, we got Mexico taking on South Africa. And then at 10 o'clock, we've got South Korea that's taking on the Czech Republic. Tomorrow, we got Canada, as they are in their second straight World Cup. They are taking on Bosnia. And then the match that we all want to stay up and see, the United States taking on Paraguay. Can the United States get out of the group? Because the big question is, yeah, we think they can get out of the group, but can they at least get to the round of 16? Because now that they have added a round of 32, there's going to be a lot of teams, even third-place teams, that get to the round of 32. The United States play Paraguay, 9 o'clock tomorrow. That's going to be at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. And then on Saturday, Brazil taking on Morocco. Morocco had a historic run in the 2022 World Cup as they got to the semis. Brazil has overachieved. Let's be honest. You know, Brazil is supposed to be the standard. I don't know if Myanmar is going to play. Qatar and Switzerland. That's going to be on Saturday. Haiti and Scotland. And then on Sunday, we got Australia and Turkey. That's the other two teams in Group D that the United States will have to face later. Germany and Curacao. Germany is another team that's one of the favorites to win the World Cup. I'm actually looking forward to the Netherlands and Japan. I think that this is going to be a pretty good World Cup matchup. Ivory Coast taking on Ecuador, and then Sweden taking on Tanzania. And that's going to be at 10 o'clock at night on Sunday. And then Monday, if you have a local invested interest in who is going to be in Atlanta for World Cup matches, Spain is taking on Cape Verde, 12 o'clock at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I've already talked to people in the community that want to witness a World Cup match. They want to go. They want to get tickets. If you're going to go to a Spain match, tickets are ranging from $500 to $800. That is the cheapest ticket because it is Spain. But there are affordable tickets for Congo and Uzbekistan. There are affordable tickets for Morocco and Haiti. And I think that the Czech Republic and South Africa are pretty affordable. But I think that if you want to get your cheapest World Cup ticket, I think Morocco and Haiti go for like $200. And, you know, you're talking about the fan bases, the demand for these tickets. Obviously, Spain is a World Cup favorite. They have a big following. There's a lot of visitors from Spain that are in this country to watch Spain in the World Cup. So that's why those ticket prices have gone sky high. We got the College World Series tomorrow. Georgia actually doesn't play till Saturday. Georgia in it, trying to win a College World Series for the first time since 1990, facing a Texas Longhorns team that has won 6 of these College World Series. And then Troy, trying to be the first mid-major since Coastal Carolina in 2016. And with NIL, and there's 5 SEC teams here in the College World Series, it's not impossible for a mid-major to win the College World Series. We've seen it before. Fresno State in 2008. We've seen Pepperdine in 92. We've seen Cal State Fullerton win it a couple of times. So it is possible. We're rooting for Troy. They're taking on West Virginia tomorrow. Both teams making their first appearance in the College World Series. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back on the other side of the break, we'll have Mike Woods from Girls Inc. He's got a basketball tournament coming up. He's going to talk about that and talk a little bit about basketball and what's going on. You don't want to go anywhere. It's a Sports Visions morning show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ and Thrift, and we are your hometown sports guys.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Families from across the Chattahoochee Valley are invited to gather for fireworks with North Highland, a free community celebration taking place on Friday, July 3rd at North Highland Church, located at 7300 Willesee Boulevard in Columbus. Beginning at 7 p.m., guests will enjoy an evening of live music, family-friendly activities, complimentary popsicles, and a community celebration leading up to a professional fireworks show beginning at approximately 9:30. Guests are encouraged to bring lawn chairs, blankets, family, friends, and neighbors. Free parking will be available on site.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA sends a weekly email to over 13 million veterans that's jam-packed with amazing resources. Subscribe for free at va.gov/vet-resources.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit makeawish@wish.org.
This message is brought to you by the Armed Forces Vacation Club, a free membership travel hub for active duty military and veterans. The club provides a well-deserved escape during challenging times or post-deployments, or for cherished family moments. This exclusive travel club grants access to discounted 7-night resorts and savings on over 600,000 hotels, rental cars, and more. In addition to service members and veterans, the club is tailor-made for National Guard, Reserves, Gold Star families, and civilian DoD employees, as well as their families. The club extends a heartfelt thank you to our military heroes, saying it's time they enjoy a vacation they've truly earned. Discover the world for free at afvclub.com. That's afvclub.com. This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you wear glasses or use hearing aids? VA Healthcare may cover both of those for you at no or low cost. You may even be eligible for free dental care at one of VA's more than 200 dental clinics. Sign up at va.gov, call 1-800-MyVA411, or visit your nearest VA medical center.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that can be fatal. Don't use anything indoors that burns fuel, such as gasoline-powered generators, camp stoves and lanterns, or charcoal grills. Opening doors and windows or using fans isn't enough. Have your vents and chimneys checked to make sure water heater and gas furnace exhausts aren't blocked. If you feel sick, dizzy, or weak while using a generator, get to fresh air right away. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
It's the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. And we've got him. He is standing by. And I said I was going to get Mike Woods on, joining the Sports Visions Morning Show. It is Mike Woods of Girls Inc. Mike, what's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? What's going on? Another day, getting ready to get at it again.
Well, I tell you what, you've been busy. We saw you down at Pacelli. We had the Porter Sports, and you were over at the Lumpkin Center. We had some Summer League basketball, but you also got Next Name Up. Just talk a little bit about that and talk about what No Approval has been doing for the summer.
Again, we're just trying to no approval, just speaking on no approval. We're just trying to implement a lot of things and be very informative to a lot of the parents in the community, a lot of the kids. We're going to be doing a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. But right now, we're focusing a lot on being very informative to the community and just providing the kids with the opportunity to play basketball or play sports, whatever we put our hands in, just to giving them an opportunity to get better. A lot of these kids need time on the court. A lot of these coaches need an avenue to give their kids, and so that's what we try to do.
Yeah, no question about it. I think that is very important that these kids, whether they're on the AAU circuit or if they're doing summer leagues or they're playing multiple sports, and so they have like football practice in the morning, basketball practice in the evening, if they're 3-sport athletes, how important is it to just get these kids completely involved in really their entire day? Because it's a summer, there's not a whole lot going on. It's how important is it to make sure that their entire day is occupied?
Well, I know a couple of weeks back they had some situation with the teens talking about having things to do, and I think we got to do a better job in our community providing an opportunity for them. If you don't provide an opportunity for them, they're going to find something to do. You might not like it, but they're going to find something to do. So me in my world and what I do in the sports world, we just try to provide an opportunity for kids to get better. A lot of times when I started with the B League and all that stuff there, I just saw kids weren't getting enough time on the court. The coaches didn't have enough time to develop. So, with us, with the next name up, the B League and all that stuff right there, we try to provide that for the coaches, give the kids a chance. Nobody should have to rebuild. They always reload, because now we're giving you versus you got that kid sitting the bench in the A League games in middle school. Now they get a chance to play 10 B League games on Saturdays at Girls Inc. So just a lot of things that we're trying to do to help kids and give them the chance to get better.
Oh, no question about it. I love the fact that middle school teams and JV teams are getting playing time. Over at the Lumpkin Center, we had the team camp for the boys basketball, and they had 6 courts going on because you had JV and middle school. I think it's important that these younger players get that playing time, because it's going to be vital down the road, especially when the season starts. But just talk about that growth and development, and not just playing a pickup game of basketball, but working on your shooting, working on your passing skills, using the tools and resources. I see more and more schools now have those shooting machines where it has the ball return, and they're just sticking out there, and they are just shooting like 100, 200 shots in the gym. I'll be honest with you, Mike, I go to a high school gymnasium. It's never unoccupied, so that there's always kids shooting the ball around. And how important is that, just to continue getting better, to work on your skills that will lead, especially during game time?
Well, Richard, the biggest thing is, I hear you, but that's not even enough shooting the ball. I mean, you see what's happening now in the NBA. You got 7-footers stepping out shooting the ball. You have to be able to shoot the basketball if you want to play at a high level and you're forced a high school kid. You got to get 1,000 shots up a day. In the summertime, if you're a parent and you got a kid and you're looking for something for them to do, get them to a gym somewhere. Every one of these high schools pretty much have a shooting machine. Now, what they're doing with it, I don't know, because I personally think our kids can't shoot the ball. I don't think we have great shooters in our city. I've seen some travel a whole lot, play in the summertime, and I've seen kids, our kids' age, can shoot the lights out of the ball. So we have to do a better job at taking advantage of the time that we have, taking advantage of the time and holding these coaches accountable for building skills versus I watch so much basketball and I see too much pressing, too much trapping. Well, the kids don't know how to play a solid man-to-man defense. You don't see that. You, Richard, I know you. I listen at you a lot, and you follow sports big time. You don't see trapping and all that stuff on the college level. You're gonna play man to man. You're gonna match up, and you're gonna do that stuff. So a lot of these kids, when you get them, they don't know anything about rotation because all they've ever done was trap. And you see the better teams beating up on the less talented teams because they have the better athletes. But I would love to see more skill camps involved versus just playing all the time too. I would love to see some skill camps. I'm gonna do some stuff where we're gonna have later on this summer where we're gonna have some play dates and invite teams to come in for free. And
nice.
they can play games, but in the same sense they can do situational stuff. Okay, what are you doing? What are you weak at doing? So we'll put that one team. If you weak at Richard, if your team is weak at handling the press, handling ball pressure, then I'm going to put my team over there to play against your team for about 20 minutes, and we're going to give you a chance to work on those things and coach your kids at the same time. Vice versa. If my kids are horrible at offensive sets in the half court setting, then you'll defend my team for 20, 30 minutes on the half court set so we can go over our things. I don't see a lot of that going on where kids know how to play in a half court set. And stuff like that. So, just a lot of things we want to try to do, but we can't do it all. We need the community to continue to open up their gyms and open up their facilities for these kids. Because there's a lot of young coaches want to get into gyms, but they just don't know. They don't know how to get into them.
Mike, talk about Next Name Up. This is an all-day event today. It's going to be at Double Churches Middle School, and the first tip-off is at 10. You sent me and Thrift the schedule. We've got some varsity teams. We got JV. We got middle school. Now, is this all girls?
Girls and boys. Girls and boys.
Okay.
So we do it. We do it all. We do the girls and boys middle school, and then we have a lot of girls. The high school teams are girls teams only, but the middle school teams are girls and boys. So we'll do that not only for the day, Richard. We do that every Tuesday and every Thursday.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be at Girls Inc. On Tuesdays and Thursdays at Double Churches, and it's free for the teams. So we don't charge the teams to come in. We do charge admission at the door, and that's only because we want to pay for the expenses, officials, and stuff like that. The people to keep it clocks and stuff like that. But that's the only thing we charge. So you have to do that. But in the same sense, it's free. Again, we reach out to all the schools. I reached out to every middle school. That every middle school should have been playing and been participating in this because it didn't cost them a penny. But again, we got the ones that are normally going to come, and I think it's going to be beneficial to them.
Mike, next weekend is Father's Day. I'm a proud father of 2 girls. You are a proud father of 3? You have 3 kids. Coach Woods over at Northside.
I got 4 kids, four biological kids, and a bonus son.
Well, shout them out, Mike.
Well, again, Jaquella, she's my oldest. She's the head coach at Northside. My oldest son is Mike Jr. He's her assistant. He teaches at Downtown Elementary. My baby girl, she's Sierra Woods. She's at Richards Middle School. My baby boy is Kim Young Woods. He's a AD and basketball coach at Double Churches. And then my bonus son is Tonio Mathis. He's also assistant coach with my daughter, Jaquella Woods, at Northside, but he's also a teacher and educator at Key Elementary.
Well, that is awesome. And I know it's early. We're a week away, but happy Father's Day to you.
Same to you.
I know you're a proud dad, and that's just a great moment when you can watch your kids do the thing that you love. And you love basketball. You've been in this community for a long time, but you don't just love basketball. I've gotten to know you the past couple of years. Mike, I could say this proudly, that you are also my broadcasting colleague. You just love sports. But where did that passion come from, calling games? Not just basketball games, which is that's your favorite sport, but you also are a color commentator for football as well.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, just like you, man, when you know sports, you just know sports. You got to figure out what the radio talk is and the rules and how you're doing things. But other than that, it became easy after that second game, got a chance to watch Bam and Ant go at it for the first time on the air 2 or 3 years ago, and just did some homework. Just listened to guys like you guys, and stayed up at night watching YouTube, trying to find out how to do different things and what makes it tick. So, I mean, it's fun. It's exciting. And anytime you get a chance to talk about the kids in the community, I was over there yesterday talking to the Carver coaches, messing with them. I always mess with them about the Central game. I'm still on that Central. I'm still mad because Carver ain't playing Central next year. But
come on. I know we all want to see it.
yeah. So I'll be ragging, giving Coach Young a hard time. Jarvis got there late yesterday, so I couldn't give him a hard time. But I try to give Coach Young a hard time about that Central game. But hopefully we'll get it next year. They say we're gonna get it next year.
Yeah, Mike, you talk about you're very invested in girls basketball. Obviously some of the top players, Rihanna Boynton, Mackenzie Word, that's coming back for this upcoming season. On the boys' side, I know you were at CSU yesterday, got a chance to see TJ Woodson, Bam Purnell over at Chaco. Is there a player, we talk about Braylon Alexander at Central. Is there a player or a couple of players that is must see if you want to go to the gym this upcoming season, that it's going to be worth the price of admission? High flying, playing above the rim. I kind of see it with Braylon. I definitely see it with Braylon Alexander. I definitely see it with TJ Woodson. Are there any other players that stick in your mind?
Well, again, Braylon Alexander, I will say this now. Braylon Alexander will be a pro. He has so much upside to him. And right now, where he is at his age, he's ahead of the curve. But if he continues to get better, he'll probably play 1 year of college basketball and he'll be playing in the pros. He is definitely must see. I think some of the sleepers, we know of the kids, TJ, and we know of X-Man and all those kids, but I think that some of the sleepers are Jalen Jacobs over that Carver, 6'5" kid, can shoot the three ball deep, a wingspan beyond wingspan. And Tyler Matthews. Tyler Matthews is exceptional, just a freak athlete. Hadn't even figured out. I mean, people. I think the problem with a lot of folks is that we get so caught up in where they are now. I'm the type of person that if I have those two kids, I'm pushing them to be superstars. Great, because if they don't get any better, then what we're going to be seeing is that same product on the floor right now. Those kids are young enough where they can get in the gym, like you said earlier, thousands and thousands of shots. If Tyler Matthews can knock down the shot like he did yesterday consistently and can learn how to put the ball on the floor and be a wing guard, it's going to be all. I mean, we talking about Braylon. It's going to be special for him as well. And the same thing with Jalen Jacobs. Carver has 2 6'4", 6'5" kids that we talk about TJ a lot, but I'm telling you, those kids bring a lot to the table for them. Bam is just I love Bam. Bam is going to sit. I've been knowing Bam ever since he's in middle school. He played for my son at Double Churches for the first 2 years, and Bam just a pit bull. He just gonna sit down and guard and defend you and do all that stuff there. So I love his intensity and how he plays the game. But those are just a couple of the kids that I know, boys that got a real good chance and stand out a whole lot. Champ Simpson came up last year and just jumped on the scene. He was a transfer from Carver. Wasn't getting a lot of playing time at Carver, but he took the opportunity that he had to go into Jacko. Now he's fixing to play G1 basketball. So these kids got to be willing to work and put the time in, man. And I challenge any of the people in the community, when you telling these kids and you got a chance to talk to these kids, be honest with them. Don't get caught up in telling them how great they are now, because right now, what they are now ain't good enough. They got to go to the next level. And I think Tyler Matthews, I talked to both Tyler Matthews' mom and Jalen Jacobs' mom yesterday, and I just told them they got a chance to make it. They got a chance to make it, but they got to work. They got to be willing to work. But they are two kids to watch.
Absolutely. Mike Woods from Girls Inc. and No Approval joining us here on the Sports Visions Morning Show. We got Next Name Up. That's going to be coming up at Double Churches Middle School. That first game is going to be varsity girls, Opelika Northside. I know we've talked about maybe going down there and just showing support and maybe covering it for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But, Mike, I do want to switch gears a little bit. You're a basketball fan. Mm-hmm. We had probably one of the greatest moments in basketball history happen last night at Madison Square Garden. The tip that will go down in infamy, OG Anunoby playing like a true OG. See what I did there? No, what a tip. I think that Madison Square Garden is going to have a statue of that tip for OG Anunoby if the Knicks are able to win a title.
Well, you know what, man? That to me, I think that was the one that showed. Sometimes it's just your time, and I think it's the Knicks' time because they got. I mean, I actually stopped watching the game early, and then I got downstairs and told my wife, I said, let me check the score out in the game. Okay, they made a run, they came back, and for stuff like that to happen, it's just your time. I think there's no way in the world um, Fox should have laid the ball, tried to lay the ball up. He should
Come
have
on
pulled
now.
it out and let the time run out. But when it's somebody's time, man, it's that somebody's time. The Knicks, I'm cheering for the Knicks now. I was actually I thought that San Antonio was going to put it out because I think Wemby is just a freak nature. But I think it's the New York time, man. Those people deserve a championship. They hadn't had one in a long time. But that tip, I mean, just like you said earlier, it reminded me, and I hated it. Ooh, boy, I hated it. Wittenberg to Lorenzo Charles, I
Oh,
hated
yeah.
it. I was cheering for the Houston Cougars then, but that was it reminded you similar to that, even though it wasn't a pass, it was a shot, and it was a tip in. But that was a great fitting. And did you see how the people just stayed around and didn't want to even go
Oh,
home last night?
the
Yeah.
jubilation of Madison Square Garden, not just all the stars they were showing on screen, but that whole arena. I don't think they've ever experienced anything like that. And Mike Breen on the broadcast said that the place was shaking. I mean, that's how of a great of a sports moment is. I actually said earlier on the show, if the Knicks do win the title, this will go down in this century in the top three for the great sports moments. Red Sox winning the World Series, Cubs winning the World Series. But I do want to say J.R. Zoning said Cavaliers winning the title. I forgot to mention that. So let's say 4 because they won a championship for the city of Cleveland in 56. Yeah. So would you agree, like, if the Knicks win the title, what is that celebration going to be like? It's already security with the World Cup matches and everything. But that moment and just being there at Times Square, it's going to be a celebration like none other if the Knicks win the title, right?
Man, you listen, I'm a big LeBron James fan, and I understand Cleveland. It was huge for the city of Cleveland. But let me tell you something, man. You look at all these greats that are in the stands that came close and did not pull it out for the Knicks. Man, the Knicks, this is going to be special. Walt Frazier with his fly suits. They Patrick Ewing, one of the guys I played with in one of the camps. I played 2 seasons with him. Him and I were teammates. Allen Houston. All these guys are Spreewell. You see, and every time you turn around, you see it starts. It's going to be special for these guys because they came so close and they was never able to pull it off. Great teams, great Knicks teams. Couldn't able to pull it off. It is going to be special for New York. It's going to be special for basketball, for the NBA, for the Knicks to win it.
Yeah, no question. And Bridget Gordon's coaching colleague, Charlie Ward's going to be celebrating too.
Exactly. Oh, they was ragging me, her and Mike here, telling me about how bad the Knicks were going to win it as well. So yeah, I know they're happy as well. So yeah.
I know a lot of people definitely pulling for the Knicks. I could see somebody wearing a throwback Allen Houston jersey from the 90s with their hat on backwards, like Turtle from Entourage. I want to see the Knicks fans just come out and just embrace that. But they got San Antonio on Saturday, Game 5. Do you think San Antonio blowing a 29-point lead, do you think that kind of sucked the life out of them, or do you think they still have something left? And
absolutely, and they're so young; they don't have a clue, and that's the problem with it. The Knicks got to go in and play. We talking about this moment. Think about this, Richard. You up 3-1 now. You better not let San Antonio come back and win the series. And so because just like we saying, it could be a great moment for them. Oh, this can be the disaster for the Knicks if they allow San Antonio, and they're so young. If San Antonio, the Knicks need to go in on I think when they play again, Saturday, Wednesday.
Yeah, they play Saturday.
They go back in. They need to try to end it in San Antonio. Don't try to end it on your home court.
No.
Try to end it in San Antonio and get it over with. Because those youngsters are good. They defensively, they athletic. I think one of the key problems, one of the things they have to worry about still though, is I don't think Wemby is physically able to give them everything a full game. because he gives out so much, and I think his body wears down in the later part of the game. That's why you see in the last second shots and stuff like that. But I think that group of guys are so young. You can't let them win that game in San Antonio and come back, because just think about it. They easily could be back 2-2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No question about it. And I think if it did go back 2-2, you're going back to San Antonio. Now the Spurs have all the momentum. But the Knicks 3-1, and they are one win away from winning their first NBA title since 1973. And I know the city of New York has had their championships, the Yankees, the Giants, the New York Liberty winning the WNBA title, NYFC in the MLS Cup, the Rangers in 94. But it's just something special about the New York Knicks because they have a national following. I put them up with Laker fans. I know just as many Knicks fans as Laker fans. I think that's why this would be very special.
And they have traveled big time in doing this playoff, man. They during the Cleveland series, the Cleveland players were mad because they seemed like the Knicks fan bought more tickets at Cleveland than they did, and so they traveled well. I know I was watching the game. I think I watched game 2. And I didn't know, I had forgot that it was in San Antonio. It had so many Knicks fans there. They were so loud. So they travel well and they support that team and they're happy for them. They got their superstar in Brunson. And they got a good supporting cast and a good team. Cat playing great basketball when needed too. So I think it's going to be good and special for this organization if they win. But again, if they blow it, you have an hour-long show, something to talk about. History will be bad for the Knicks again.
No question about it. Mike Woods from Girls Inc. is joining us here on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. He has got a Summer League showcase coming up at Double Churches Middle School, 10 o'clock. I know you got to hurry. My final question to you, Mike, is today is day one of the World Cup. I know you guys have soccer at Girls Inc. I mean, are you starting to feel soccer? Are you a soccer guy? Are you going to follow the World Cup?
You know what? I do. I like soccer for the young kids. I'm not a big soccer fan. I like some of the soccer players, Messi and all those guys who playing. But I'm not a real big soccer fan. But as far as the kids and the development at Girls Inc., I was thrown in the fire by my mentor, my former sports director, Walter McKee. I remember him telling me, Coach, I need somebody to coach soccer. I said, well, Coach, I don't know anything about soccer. He said, well, you got a team and you teach them how to play basketball, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, teach them how to play basketball, but they're going to dribble the ball with their feet versus dribbling it with their hand. And he left me alone. I'm like, what kind of nonsense is that? But I picked up I'm pretty good with the youth, the younger age group, the 6 through 8, 8 through 10. That's probably the farthest I can go with it because that soccer game it's a skill. People don't realize how skilled you have to be, man, to play soccer.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's a skilled sport. And I think sometimes as in life, we as athletes, we tend to take other people's sports for granted, like golf. I getting older, I saw all the coaches that I played for or I played against. I see all of them like George Williams and Coach Richard Mahone. They always used to talk about golf. And I'm like, man, that can't be that hard to hit a ball. And I think I went out there and hit a ball, man. And when I hit it, I didn't know which way and what direction it went because it's a skill, man. And so I think people take for granted other sports, but soccer is a big sport. It's one of the sports that we do at Girls Inc. We're getting ready to partner up with some other people in the community to continue to enhance. We've had a lot of young ladies that have gone off, played good big time soccer at high schools and earning scholarships. So we want to continue the partnership, not just with basketball, but everything we do at Girls Inc. Running a great summer program over there now. The pool's gonna be ready, I think tomorrow. So the kids are anxious about swimming. So we're doing a lot of things. I'm going to Girls Inc. first. Going to do our basketball camp this morning. Then I'm gonna head over to Double Churches. But again, if you're still got kids looking for a summer program, Girls Inc. is the place to be. Got so many different things. I like what they're doing now. They added clubs into it for the summer. Like they teaching the kids about cooking. They got dance teams. They got all kinds of sewing. They got all kinds of different things that the kids say they want to have fun. And I think Miss Danita Gibson Lloyd answered the call, and she's allowing them, along with the program director, Miss Tam Miner, to give the kids what they want, having fun. They're having fun this summer. It's not about a lot of other things that we've done in the past. They are having fun, and so again, we're going to have games. I say this too, Richard. We're going to be having games again every Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesday, we'll be at Girls Inc. On Thursdays, we'll be at Double Churches. We got food trucks out there. Come by if you want to see some good basketball or see the next name up. Come by there and watch these kids, support these kids, put some word of encouragement in their lives because you never know what some of these kids are going through. We were talking about that yesterday. You know, some kids, man, you can coach this way. Some kids you can't. You just got to know what's in their background and what's their history. So that's my thing, man, is just trying to, as long as the good Lord have me on this earth, man, to try to pour into some kids, pour into people, give people the best knowledge that I know, information that I know about things and helping them out. But, you know, I'm anxious to see how them Northside Lady Patriots are going to be this morning. They're playing Opelika, the first tip-off game. So I'm anxious to see how they play. I hadn't been up there to watch them practice, so I'm going to this could be my first time seeing them this summer.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Mike Woods, thank you so much for being on the Sports Visions Morning Show, and looking forward to seeing you in a couple hours.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, that's Mike Woods. He's the sports director of Girls Inc. No approval, pressure makes diamonds. We're going to be up at Double Churches later this morning. Thanks once again, Mike, for being on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Don't forget, we've got at the bottom of the hour, Mackenzie Collins from WTVM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, Mackenzie Collins, she's coming on the other side of the break. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. We'll be right back after this.
You are listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. A judge has denied Ibrahim Yazid's request for a new trial. His attorneys filed a motion earlier this month claiming there was not enough evidence to convict him of the murder of Anaya Blanchard. Yazid was convicted on 2 murder counts and sentenced to life in prison for her 2019 death. In Columbus, Paws Humane Society says space-related euthanasia is no longer on the table. Director Courtney Pierce says the shelter is still full, but no longer at critical capacity. Since last week, community members have stepped up to adopt and foster pets. Lastly, the Columbus Police Department has released a second report on the weekend activity in downtown Columbus. On June 5th and 6th, police report they responded to 13 dispatch calls for service, issued 13 citations, and made contact with 75 minors. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings.
Good Thursday morning. We are off on a warm note with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and we're seeing just mostly clear skies across the area this morning. But it's going to be another quick warm up as we go throughout the day. Afternoon temperatures are going to be climbing into the low 90s, and yes, heat index values are going to be climbing into the upper 90s. This is going to be quite hot this afternoon. Tonight, clear, humid, and warm. Lows falling in the mid 70s. Warm weather continues through Saturday with mid 90s. Better rain chances next week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Got to get to Gills. Selection and price. Got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Happy 40th anniversary to Gills Auto Sales. This will be a year-long celebration with inventory of deals like you haven't seen in a long time. Every lot in Gills' lineup is stocked with a car, truck, or SUV that you've been dreaming about. Hey, want to save more than ever before on the vehicle of your dreams during the 40th anniversary celebration? You gotta get to Gills.
Sons Chevrolet is moving to our brand new home on Woodley Boulevard, and we're celebrating with a grand opening giveaway you don't want to miss. Register now for a chance to win a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Trax, plus oil changes for life. Register online before June 20th. Join us for the ribbon cutting on June 18th and the grand opening event leading up to the big drawing on June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern. No purchase necessary. Visit sonschevy.com to enter and get all the details today. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving and when you're going from point A to B. I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association. Covering local and national sports. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Yeah. Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Happy Thursday to everybody out there. I want to thank everybody in the front row. Ricky Rogers, Bobby Brown, Rodney Lawrence, Stanley Crowell, Gary Ingram says, good morning, Richard. Good morning to you, Gary. Of course, DJ checking in from Tampa. JR Zoning. I agree. Cleveland Cavaliers winning the championship in 56 years. That probably needs to be that fourth sports moment. That's probably the great sports moment in this century. And we appreciate everybody else that's listening to us, whether you're listening to us on Facebook Live or on YouTube, or if you got the sound, you got the video down off your phone and you're listening to us that way. You can also listen to us on the Sports Visions radio app, commercial free, also on Apple and Spotify, as all the interviews that you have heard, chopping it up and putting it in the archives. We are going to have a best of show tomorrow, and looking forward to seeing DJ and Thrift back at studio on Monday. Boy, it has been a great show. I want to thank Tyler Dykes coming on the show in the first hour, talking all things World Cup. You know, not only do we have a friendly at the University of Auburn, but this is the first day of the World Cup. And it's going to be special because it's the first time in history that we have had 3 countries hosting the World Cup. And at 3:00 Eastern, we've got Mexico taking on South Africa. And then later tonight, we got South Korea taking on the Czech Republic. Tomorrow, we got Canada taking on Bosnia. That's going to be at 3:00. And then at 9:00 at SoFi Stadium tomorrow, Group D, the United States taking on Paraguay. I think the United States has a tough group. Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey are ranked right where they need to be. They're in the 30s and 40s. They are teams that could be sneaky good. They've got some pretty good players. Some people think that Turkey is even better than the United States. I beg to differ. United States is actually ranked 17th in the FIFA rankings. I actually go off of the FIFA rankings. And you also got to see all the players on these international teams. Where do they play? Do they play in the Premier League? Do they play in the MLS? This stuff does make a difference, but the Premier League has more than 150 soccer players that are participating in the World Cup. 48 teams. Is it watered down? I always ask these questions just because I'm a big soccer fan. I love seeing competitive soccer, but it used to be a rite of passage to qualify for the World Cup. It used to be 32 teams. Now they have 48, which means they'll have an extra round of postseason. They'll have a group of 32. And by the way, Atlanta is going to be hosting one of those soccer matches, the group of 32, as well as 7 other soccer matches. And I know that tickets are going to be very pricey. Hey, we got a Stanley Cup final later tonight in Carolina. the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes are all tied up at 2 apiece. For those hockey enthusiasts, I'm telling you, I'm hoping for a great series. I'm hoping that this can get extended to 7 games. But, the goal scoring has been heavy goal scoring by Carolina. They were able to beat the Vegas Golden Knights 5-3. What a wild finish. And Jordan Stahl, I was about to say Gunnar Stahl. Jordan Stahl, I can't believe he's still playing. Not his younger brother who played for the Iceland team and played for the junior Goodwill games, Gunnar Stahl. For those of you who are Mighty Ducks fans, that was a pretty cool reference. Jordan Stahl had 2 goals for the Carolina Hurricanes, which, Vegas ended up winning 5-4 in double overtime, 4-3, 5-4. These have been very close games. And I tell you what, it makes for a very intriguing Stanley Cup final. But still, we have not had a team from Canada win the Stanley Cup since 1993. And another Southeast team in a Stanley Cup. We've had the Florida Panthers the last couple of years. The Tampa Bay Lightning have gone to the Stanley Cup. The hockey in the South is definitely growing, especially with the Nashville Predators, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Carolina Hurricanes. It makes me miss the Atlanta Thrashers when they left in 2011. It will be the darkest day during that year. That was when I got the news that went over my phone on the waiver wire that the Atlanta Thrashers were bought out by True North Entertainment. I knew the writing was written on the wall that they would be leaving Atlanta to become the Winnipeg Jets. And I know that there are talks that hockey could return to Atlanta, but they already lost the Flames. They already lost the Thrashers. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Well, third time, could it work, especially if they move into Alpharetta, a place where they would embrace hockey? We'll see. I mean, they do have, the Atlanta Gladiators in the ECHL. You got the Athens Rock Lobsters, who are now in the SPHL. The Columbus River Dragons in the FPHL. You got the Macon Mayhem in the SPHL. Now, there's good minor league hockey in the state of Georgia. The Savannah Ghost Pirates. Man, I know people might be blown away with my minor league hockey knowledge, but yeah, I love hockey too. I grew up rooting for the San Jose Sharks. But yeah, it's a great sport. And the Stanley Cup Finals are going on with everything else that's going on. Hey, the NBA Finals Game 5 this Saturday night. Can the Spurs get it back to the Garden? I think the Spurs have a talented enough team to go ahead and get that done. But the Knicks cannot have the mindset, we're just going to clinch it at Game 6 at the Garden. No, that's not the mindset. You need to try to win this game. You cannot leave a young team like the Spurs hanging when you have one of the best players in the world. Remember, the first 4 games of this series, the Spurs were up big on the Knicks. So what is going to be different this time around? I do think that the Knicks, especially at home, were able to use that fuel from the fans at the Garden to make that comeback. They did it a little bit in Game 3, and they made that massive comeback in Game 4, down 29 points, the largest comeback in NBA Finals history. And say what you want. It was a great comeback by the Knicks. OG Anunoby with the tip in. It was one of those great sports moments that will live on forever. But the Spurs collapsing, that is the story. De'Aaron Fox missing the layup. Wemby before that, missing the 2 foul shots. Oh, yeah. It is definitely going to be talked about in and around the sports world. Hey, the Braves going to be back in action taking on the Chicago White Sox. They're trying to avoid the sweep. And on the mound for the Atlanta Braves is going to be Martin Perez. Hurston Waltrip is making a rehab start tonight at Synovus Park. Don't forget that Sportsvisions 92.1 FM is your official flagship station for the Columbus Cleanstones. If you can't make it out to Synovus, we got you covered as Jack Johnson and Austin Crooms will have the call. And I know I'm patiently waiting for Jack Johnson to text me, hey, you want to call a couple innings with me? I would love to, Jack. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Love you, Jack. Love you, Austin. You guys do a fantastic job with the Clean Stones radio broadcast. I actually will be out there. Me and my wife are going out to Synovus Park to catch the game. It is soccer night. They are giving away a soccer scarf that's got a Clean Stones logo on it in honor of the World Cup. I believe they're partnering with Columbus United FC. But, speaking of United FC, they're off this weekend. They'll be back in action. 2 soccer matches next week. The Columbus Lions are on the road taking on the Wheeling Miners. It's a great time to be a sports fan, especially with the World Cup going on, especially with the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, the U.S. Open is next week. Hey, what more can a father ask for than to watch sports on Father's Day weekend, as that is next week? Why don't we take our final break of the day, and when we come back, we are going to close out the show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on this Thursday, and we are your hometown sports guys.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Corey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
Did you know that Corey's Furniture Express sells rugs? They do, and they have all colors and sizes for every room in your home. You can get a 5x8, an 8x10, and even room size 12x15, and they've got hundreds to choose from. And that's only at Corey's Furniture. You're gonna love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Do you want to win a brand new car? Now's your chance. Just head on over to the Sports Visions website and register to win a brand new Chevy Trax from Sun Chevrolet. Winner announced June 20th at 5 p.m. Must be present to win.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money saving, just like FDA approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Older buildings may contain asbestos and lead. Pipe or other insulation, ceiling tiles, exterior siding, roof shingles, and sprayed-on soundproofing may contain asbestos. Disturbing materials containing lead-based paint may release lead dust into the air. If your home contains asbestos or lead-based paint, and any of these materials have been damaged or will be disturbed during cleanup, talk to public health authorities. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Families from across the Chattahoochee Valley are invited to gather for fireworks with North Highland, a free community celebration taking place on Friday, July 3rd at North Highland Church, located at 7300 Willesee Boulevard in Columbus. Beginning at 7 p.m., guests will enjoy an evening of live music, family-friendly activities, complimentary popsicles, and a community celebration leading up to a professional fireworks show beginning at approximately 9:30. Guests are encouraged to bring lawn chairs, blankets, family, friends, and neighbors. Free parking will be available on site.
Damaging an underground utility can cause a lot more problems than you think. By causing a potentially avoidable damage to underground utilities, there's many scenarios that do not end well. To keep the gas, power, water, and internet running, using 811 to have your underground utilities marked is a critical piece of the damage prevention process, whether you're a homeowner or an excavator. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Visit al811.com for more information.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you have a copy of your DD-214? A DD-214 is a DoD certificate of retirement, separation, or discharge from active duty. It verifies your eligibility for benefits and services. The fastest way to request a copy is through the National Archives and Records Administration at archives.gov. Get the benefits you've earned. This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA sends a weekly email to over 13 million veterans that's jam-packed with amazing resources. Subscribe for free at va.gov/vet resources.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. It's Richard Holdridge filling in for DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. This show is almost in the books. We got about 15 minutes left until Dan Patrick. I do want to say it has been a pleasure to host this show by myself. This is something that I felt like I was ready to do, that I was capable of doing, and I want to thank DJ Jones for giving me this opportunity. Normally we do a best of, which we will do tomorrow, but I thought that it was one of those things that I definitely was looking forward to doing, and it's a full circle moment. Because in 2018, I had the aspirations of being on sports talk radio. I was listening to a radio station, and I heard a bunch of guys. They sounded good, but I saw how young they were, and it wasn't a knock on them, but it inspired me and it motivated me to say to myself, why didn't I do this when I graduated from college? I'm 46 years old. I know that I've been pursuing the broadcasting thing for about 5 years now. And I don't understand why I took so long, but, sometimes things work out for the best, and it's all in God's hands. And that's the most important thing, is that he's in control, and you can't do it on your own terms. And I think that the timing just wasn't right 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I've been here in Columbus since 2015. I actually started working in Columbus in 2014. So the sports scene and everything, I haven't really been on the sports scene till about 2021. But I thank DJ Jones for every opportunity that he has given me. And you probably heard me on the show with DJ and Thrift for about a year and a half now. And I know that this is a full circle moment, and I appreciate it. Hey, we appreciate our guests today. I want to thank Tyler Dykes from Georgia Alabama Sports Live and talking all things soccer. I tell you, this guy lives, breathes, and eats soccer. And I know that he might want to get one of those soccer scarves at the Cleanstones game tonight at Synovus Park. I don't know. But, yeah, big shout out to Tyler Dykes. Just a great segment talking about all things World Cup. And then in the 7 o'clock hour, we had WRBL Sports Director Jack Patterson, JP, Return of the Jack, talking about the new Pacelli baseball coach. Kobe Vance is his name. We had a press conference yesterday. Also talking a little bit about that Argentina-Iceland friendly, which 88,000 fans. Wow. An international soccer game, the most attended soccer match in Alabama history. In the state of Alabama, it topped the World Cup, or not the World Cup, the Olympics in 96 in Birmingham. But this was a World Cup friendly. Remember, World Cup matches start today. United States taking on Paraguay tomorrow. We also have the College World Series. Georgia's taking on Texas on Saturday. Troy taking on West Virginia tomorrow, 2 o'clock in Omaha. Ole Miss taking on North Carolina. We got Oklahoma and Alabama tomorrow, or Saturday, Texas and Georgia on Saturday as well. That's in prime time. That is the 8 o'clock game. That's going to be right around the time of Game 5 of the NBA Finals. I might have to split screen it. Take multiple devices and watch both games because the New York Knicks have a chance to close it out against the San Antonio Spurs on Saturday and win an NBA title. Say it with me now. The New York Knicks, NBA champions. I don't know, I'm jumping the gun here, but that has a nice ring to it. This is a fan base. I witnessed the Knicks in the early 2000s become a dumpster fire. This was an absolute dumpster fire. You had fans yelling at James Dolan, sell the team. And then James Dolan turns around and said, guess what, buddy? You just lost your season tickets. Yeah, it was that bad. There were some moments that the Knicks have had, but how special would this moment be if the Knicks are able to pull it off? And don't wait to close it out in Game 6. You got to get them in Game 5 because the Spurs are going to be ready. Wemby plays with a chip on his shoulder. The one thing I'd watch out for Wemby, he does have 3 flagrant fouls. So you can get physical with Wemby, but if he picks up another one, he could end up getting suspended. That would be detrimental. I don't think the league would do that. Wemby is just too valuable. I think the young players for the Spurs, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, I think they're going to step up. And I do believe that the Spurs win Game 5 to bring it back to the Garden. And anything can happen. If you keep the Spurs around, the Spurs could steal a game in Game 6 and bring it back to San Antonio for a Game 7. You got to be careful with that because this series could easily be 2-2, but this series could also easily be a sweep. I think that head-to-head, the Spurs have been coming out the gate on the New York Knicks. They've been finding a way to come up big in all 4 games, but the Knicks just have dudes. You have Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns. I know he got in a little bit of foul trouble yesterday. He had 2 early fouls, and I think that might have been a little bit of a difference to throw him off, but I still think Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a big Game 5. I cannot wait. Game 5 down in San Antonio. Spurs and Knicks. This has been a lot of fun. Don't forget the Columbus Cleanstones taking on the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. First pitch 7:06, and it is the minor league rehab assignment for Braves pitcher Hurston Waltrip. If you can't make it out to Synovus Park, Jack Johnson and Austin Crooms has got you covered on Sportsvisions 92.1 FM. As we are your official flagship station for the Columbus Cleanstones. Wow, what a great show. We are getting closer and closer to the weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow's show, we will have a best of. I'll have some of the greatest interviews that we've had over the past couple of weeks, and then we will chop it up on Monday, and we will do it all over again next Monday. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Go out and watch some sports. We've got some summer leagues still going on. We've got a league event going on, put on by Mike Woods. Pressure Makes Diamonds. No Approval. Yeah, that's going to be at Double Churches later this afternoon. I think 10 o'clock is when it starts. No Approval. Pressure Makes Diamonds. It's called Next Name Up Summer League Showcase. That's going to be at Double Churches Middle School, and that's going to be in about an hour. Admission is $7. Come on out and see some good high school, middle school, JV, girls and boys basketball over at Double Churches Middle School. Well, you hear the music, you know what that means. That's right. We are out of time. What a show. I'm so excited that I was able to do this show. But I'm out. On behalf of DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, I am Richard Holdridge, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah, I find you, I give you all you need.
You've been listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
I tried to teach you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I try to live, but I can't. I don't know why you're the one. Turn me out of my mind. Only you feel on my body. You don't need no other body.
Say I made it mess up my mind, and I made it make you free up your mind. Say your body talk to me nice. Say now my love you didn't need for your life. Yeah, I love no be like. Say every day together, yeah, day and night. Yeah, if I leave you go by. Yeah, if you leave I go stroking your body, baby. Loving your body, baby. As you're whining your body, baby. So crazy. Loving your body, baby. Get me what needs to me. I just wanna let you know. Hope every day.
You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body. You don't need no other body. Hey, baby, everybody's the same. No one loves you like that. No one wants you the same way.
Back till the morning, my head wants to turn from your loving. I just wanna get you beside me.
Give me all you need. Give me all you need. Give me all you. Give me all you need. Give me all you need. Give me all.
Make I give you all you need. Every touch you need. Give you all. Make I give you all you need, baby. Yeah.
You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body.
Yeah.
You don't need no other body.
Girl, I want you there. Girl, I want you there. Promise to treat your love fair. Whoa. When we touch, I will connect. Whoa. Say this love, I no regret. Whoa. Yeah.
Want to win a brand new Chevy Trax? Visit SonsChevrolet.com to register and get details. New location coming soon. Sons Chevrolet.